name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello, and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here. We are streaming the premier homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Return of the Giants. And we have a very good cliffhanger that we probably need to get onto that we left off last session, so I won't keep us too late with announcements. First quick announcement. I've had a quick chat with Jared. He's doing a bit better. He is hoping to rejoin us pretty soon. I won't worry about filling in the seat with another permanent cast member for any stretch of time. I may get in a guest for a couple of episodes for the next little bit, just before he joins us up again. But he is looking to come back. He says hi to everyone. He has missed you guys. He's just had some stuff in his personal life he's been sorting out. But I think he's taking the steps he needs to take to sort of get better, get through it all, and he should be joining us again, hopefully really, really soon. So really excited to have Jared rejoining us, which would be awesome. Simon is with us tonight. He's back after being away last week. He's just got his camera off at the moment. He will be jumping on in a second. We'll see his gorgeous face once again. I mean, we can see his gorgeous face right now, but we'll be seeing it moving, which is how I like to enjoy it. Much more dynamic. So we'll be seeing him joining us very shortly. And the only other fun announcement I have to share is there will be some episodes of The Wandering Village coming very shortly. I'm hoping to sit down and record some stuff in the next couple of days, which means that we'll be able to explore the Ruins update. And I'm really pleased I did wait that extra day. There was apparently a bit of a game-breaking bug, which has now been fixed. It's been fully patched, where you could start the new game and have things go very, very wrong. So I'm very happy that that's all been patched and we can jump back in with a full playthrough of The Wandering Village once more with all the new updates, and it's going to be smooth as butter. And that's all the fun announcements I have to share from behind the scenes before we jump in. Unless there's anything else that we want to say or share before we start, I'll do the recap and let's jump straight back into the episode. Done. I did leave us on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I understand that the vibe is we want to get back into that pretty quickly. So let me read the recap from last week and we will jump straight back in. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and Bartholomew have returned to the surface after an extended expedition through the Underdark and are now preparing for a journey northward. Having recovered Bart's severed wings from the shackles of Obsidian Foot, the group have decided to track down the Flesh Sculptor in the hope that its magic can restore them. Before departing by airship to the nearby town of Willwood, though, the team caught up with the Tempest Guild leaders Mira, Azure, and Lockie, sharing the details of their Heartstones and the concerning developments they had learned about them. Taking some downtime, the team organised the creation of magic items, inked their skin with enchanted tattoos, and even got Bart drunk for the very first time. While attempting to catch up on some well-earned sleep, Ember found himself experiencing an intense and seemingly prophetic dream in which he watched flames begin to burn away his homeland, mountains erupting and spewing forth an endless stream of dark smoke and smouldering lava across the land. Rightfully disturbed by this vision, Ember rushed over to the Messenger Guild Tower to seek news from his home. Bullying a Swan Aarakocra supervisor into giving him both the news he feared, the eruption of a volcano off the coast near his grove, as well as a detailed map of the area, Ember returned to the guild with his heart heavy. The group reunited in the crisp early morning air to meet their hired airship captain to take them to Willwood. To their surprise, however, the guild had booked a tourist airship, the last-minute nature of their trip somewhat limiting the available options. Following the ship's skipper, an air ganassi called Cumulus, to the small cloud skimmer, the team boarded the older vessel and began their journey south. Arriving at the town of Willwood, they made their way to the tavern, hoping to locate the Flesh Sculptor. Inside the tavern, they were directed to an entrance to the far left of the bar, a tunnel that led down to the earth below, the walls giving way to burnished steel and glowing crystals after only a few moments. Inside the main chamber, the group passed by rows of large glass cylinders with various creatures floating in some green liquid. Awaiting below was the insect-like flesh sculptor, large compound eyes reflecting the bright white light shining from above. Despite the strange appearance and mannerisms of the creature, Lyra soon had the party joining in conversation with Rzichik as they bartered over how to fund the creation of new wings for Bart. During the chat, the team learned a little bit more about the creature and its kind, as well as more about the situation with Hadar, including that the Dark Hunger had previously ignored Nostea, but now seemed to be moving back after the return of the Giants. While Rzichik worked on the wings, he requested the team assist him with an escaped sample down in the lower levels. Making their way through the metal corridors, the team arrived at the location, calling out to the figure hiding behind the door. Despite its attempts to trick the party, a clever and quick use of Zone of Truth trapped the devil-like creature in its lies and forced it to reveal itself. Rushing in to take it down, the strange devil released a number of creatures still trapped in the nearby containment cubes, and the party were forced to face off against the Oni and the monstrosities released by this devil, including an enormous beast with a giant maw and long grasping tentacles, several gelatinous cubes, and some gibbering mouthers. With their attention divided, the group were forced to split focus and take on these various monsters before they could be overwhelmed, Bart launching forward to lock down the Oni while Lyra focused on a moonbeam to keep it from escaping. Despite the numerous times that the gelatinous cubes were able to capture the party, Ember's quick thinking and fiery teleportation with Flicker managed to keep people out of the gelatinous cubes. One by one, the various creatures fell before the party's brutal attacks, and some friendly fire from the gelatinous cubes, with the group finally overwhelming the Oni before throwing him back inside a containment tube. Returning to the Flesh Sculptor to report the good news, the party was surprised to find Bart's new wings almost fully grown. We left off last session as a large metal claw picked Bart up and placed him in the vat with his newly formed wings, the Flesh Sculptor beginning the process of affixing his new appendages. For you guys outside the tube, Ember, Harry, Lyra, and Niles, you watch as Bart floats in this greenish, thick, viscous liquid. Lyra, you identified just at the end of the session that this seemed to be some derivative of the gelatinous cube, having been modified and chemically altered to turn it into more of a anesthetic gel, supportive gel. You watch as the claws inside begin to pull Bart's skin aside, cutting through his flesh as they remove the scar tissue on his back and begin attaching the wings in place. As this happens, Bart, inside the containment sphere, the containment cylinder, you closed your eyes and tried to focus on contacting your lost love Satine. Unfortunately, as has been the pattern with these attempts to use the Heartstones, you rolled a 2 on a D100, which meant that we ended last session with you, instead of contacting Satine, hearing a very different voice echo back to you. We're going to jump straight back in as you hover, suspended in this green liquid, all sound muffled and vague to your ears, sounding a million miles away. Your vision blurred and clouded as you look through this green jelly. You find that you can breathe in it, even though the jelly kind of moves up your nose immediately and begins clogging in your nose and throat. You are still able to breathe during this process, which is a very bizarre experience. It feels like this should be too viscous to inhale, but somehow you find yourself able to breathe through this. As you reach out with your mind, you feel that hurt and pain from what happened between you and your brother, Alphonse. You begin to feel that same emotion reflected back at you. And we left off last session as a voice replied to you. This happened last time too. As a voice replied to you, "What are you?"
You're quite husky, Satine. No. What do you mean? Who is this?
Wait, I know that voice. Bartholomew. Dream.
This is currently a one-way conversation. You have the advantage. I don't quite know who I'm speaking with.
Of course, you've not heard my true voice before. Perhaps this would be more identifiable for you, Bartholomew. As you hear Vice's voice begin to echo through the connection. Well there, I did say you and I would need to have a little chat, and it does look a bit to me like you're a captive audience right now.
I really didn't need this right now.
Good. Just as it should be. I don't want you prepared. I want you off balance. I want you desperate, Bartholomew. You still owe me a hammer.
I don't think we ever made that deal. Why did I connect to you? I felt the same emotions back at me. Why do you feel betrayed?
Don't know what you're talking about. Talking, blithering nonsense. But then that is your MO, is it not? Back in the aristocracy. Walking around, squawking, not knowing what was going on beneath the surface.
Can I see if that jab at me was a deflection with an insight check?
I would say that's a very fair thing to do.
I still am horrible at wisdom. I'm young. That's a 3 for a 2. Oh no!
This isn't a jab of deflection. This is he knows, Bart. He knows too much about you. This is scary stuff.
Fuck.
Your own insecurities reflected back at you. I mean, this devil's good. He's playing you like a fucking fiddle.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tabaxi got your tongue.
Yes, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know how to control this. I don't even know how to turn it off. Can you just shut up?
It's not very polite, Bartholomew. Especially not that you want to have control of your limbs again. And really, that's something I've got a bit of a say over at the moment. Your little trick connecting these heartstones. Did you forget I know how to corrupt them? You are a bit of a bird brain after all. Is that why Alphonse was always the preferred son? Was it your lack of intelligence? Was that why?
How do you know anything about Alphonse? You don't know what our relationship was like?
You're right. I don't know. I only know what I've been told. And Alphonse, he takes a while to open up, to trust. But when he does, sings much more like a songbird than an owl.
Alphonse is many things, but he would not turn to a devil. He's proud.
He sold you to a Dwergar who'd made a deal with one. You really think he's not capable of making the hard choices? That's why your father loves him more.
You're wrong. There was obviously some reason why he did that. I just need to talk to him about it.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. You should try and track him down. I can't help but notice, though, that you're making some efforts to try and conceal your presence. Not good enough, by any means. You know that first night in Oxenfurt when you took yourself for a little walk? You know you were spotted, right?
Well, unfortunately, it's a bit hard to stay away when there's eyes everywhere.
But I mean, you didn't even try. You were walking around out in the open. Do you know how long it took them to spot you? It was an embarrassingly long amount, I'll say that.
I don't know, and I don't care. If you know so much about me, you know what I was dealing with for such a long time, and having freedom was nice. Nice things do exist, you know that, Vice?
Oh, I know. I like to enjoy all the nice things in this world, what it has to offer. And I've been enjoying them for some time. I just want to make sure that that gravy train doesn't stop. You
Our
too?
versions of nice, I think, are very different.
Not as different as you think.
Why do you even want the hammer? Why is it so important to you?
Is it important to you? You can't use it, not without suffering infernal corruption, which, if you're not even willing to make a deal with me, well, you don't really want to use the hammer then, do you? Oh, and if you think that gnome is going to be able to do something about it, Griswold, I know all about him and his tricks, and I know where he's from. Probably I might bit more about him than you do. You think he's going to be able to take the taint from the hammer? You're even more foolish than I thought. And I think you're pretty foolish, to be fair.
Well, if the deals you have are so lucrative, I've already showed you that, unlike my companions, I'm happy to compromise myself if it means the betterment of others. Why do you want it? You can lie all you want, it may be in your nature, but if you give me a reason that I can agree on...
There's power in that hammer. That taint, that corruption from the infernal. That touch of a devil. I don't want it loose in your world. You don't want it loose in your world. Let me take it. Put it somewhere safe. Back in the hells where it belongs.
So, is that all this is for you? Just a power grab?
What else is there?
That's what I'm trying to piece together.
There is only power, Bart. If you haven't figured that out, then you've not been paying attention to the lessons that your family been trying to teach you. That's all it is. Power. Those who have it and those who don't. If you don't, you better hope you can take it. 'Cause no one's giving you power. Not for free. I'm just making sure I get what's mine back.
I'd like to do a second insight check to see if that... I was trying to push it towards... Is he telling the truth? Is there not some sort of other...
I'm happy to do a second insight check on that. It's kind of different what you're asking for here, so I'll allow a second one.
17?
17. He's not lying. He doesn't seem to be. I mean, again, it's just the voice that you can hear. You can't see any body language, but you can hear his voice, you can hear the intonation, the speed. He's not lying about this. When he said, you don't want this in your world, I don't want it loose in your world. That's the truth. When he said it'd be far better in the hells, he believes that, 100%. He thinks it'd be far better in the hells. And then that bit about power, yeah. He is outright saying, right then and there, what he wants. Power. Yes, he's trying to manipulate you, for sure, 100%. Like but you think that's his goal. Like that's what it seems like. He's trying to make a point. Like he doesn't care as much about it being loose in your world. Like he does a little bit, but he much more cares about the power. It's more for him. Yeah. Actually, no, he didn't say he doesn't want it loose in your world. He said you don't want it loose in your world. So that's true. He does believe that. He to him it seems like a bad idea.
Look, I don't know what has occurred in the past, but despite the distrust of you from others, you took Obsidian Foot, punishing him. You haven't done anything to wrong me, per se.
And I haven't had any cause to. Don't give me cause. And I won't give you cause. Seem fair?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're friends. I'm not saying we're allies. I'm just saying we don't need to be enemies. You've got your goals, I've got mine. And for the moment, I see a parallel pathway linking us together. We don't have to be anything more than that. Just companions walking down the road.
No, I understand. We don't need to be friends to parlay and negotiate.
And I don't expect you to trust a devil. You've gone through too many lessons at the Heiress for that, I hope. One would hope.
Okay. I've got your coin. Oh, yep, sorry.
I have a question. Is this is probably more for Bart. Are you broadcasting any of this to at least Niles through through your tattoo at all?
I'm only able to have one person connected. Oh, the tattoo.
You only hear Bart's side of the conversation, just so you know.
I was still
okay.
connected to Niles, but that also then begs the question, because it gets into, like, I guess the physics of the world and the way things work. Is the Heartstone and the ink tattoo using the same telepathic network?
It's not using the same telepathic connection, but if you're connected through the Heartstone, your thoughts are transmitted through that, not through the tattoo. So even if you were, you'd have to be then separately thinking through the tattoo and applying that effect, because that's a true magical effect. This is something a little bit different. It's magic, but of a different kind.
No, I don't. At the moment, Bart hasn't thought of that. He's focused on the conversation. I've got a -1 to wisdom. I'm using every bit of brain power to try to see through his shit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I've still got the coin.
Yeah.
And I like the way this conversation went. Let me think on it more.
Don't think too long. I'm not the only one looking for the hammer, and I can tell you, I'm the only one who's going to be willing to make a deal. Get it back. The others who'll be hunting it, they'll take it. And they'll take it from your corpse, if they can.
Okay, how about in that case then, a gesture of goodwill? Who is coming after it? One of these members, one individual.
You pissed off a certain goddess when you took her blade. And unfortunately, when you had those two items close together, touch of the hells rubbed off on it. And Lolth, now she may not be of devilkin herself, but she plays with those boys sometimes. You've got shadow hunters on your trail. 3 of them. You might want to keep an eye out. Not just on the sky, but on the shadows blocking your path.
Okay. As ominous as that is, if I come across them, I'd like to verify this information, and I think that's a good step in the first direction.
Tell you what, why don't I make their job a little bit harder? Some influence I can exert to make it a bit more challenging to catch up to you. They only arrived in Oxenford yesterday, after all.
I think I'd actually like the opposite. I want to verify that you're telling the truth, and I would like to see them sooner rather than later.
I don't think you're ready for that. You've not gone up against Loth's elite before. You don't know what you're agreeing to. And you're no use to me dead. Well, not as much use to me dead.
That may be true, but I have trust in those around me.
All of them?
Yes.
Good luck, Bart. We'll talk again soon. With that, you feel the voice retreating as the sensations on your back begin to bring you into the present once more. For those of you who are watching in, this whole time the wings have been connected. You can see these claws, these tiny little claws on these long mechanical arms, slowly stitching the new feathers back in, essentially reconnecting Bart's wings to his body from start to finish. And as they finish up, you watch as the gel begins to drain away from the cylindrical container, and as it lowers down, Bart, you find sensation returning to your body once again. Very slowly, you find yourself feeling sort of like tingling across your skin, this numbness, and as you try to sort of move, you stumble forwards, catching yourself against the side of this cylinder as the glass slides up and opens. Rzichik is there, catching you, sort of knowing that this is going to happen. And as his larger arms grab onto you and help you stand, the much smaller ones begin to wipe some of the goo off you before they pull out that same grey slate and begin to scan over the seam where your new wings attach. But you can feel them. As sensation returns to your body once again, you'd forgotten what it felt like. And as you shift your shoulders, muscles which you haven't used in months stretch and twist. And as they do, these beautiful white wings open on your back. Feathers. Beautiful. Glistening with the remnants of this green goo still in place. And as you slowly begin to shake it off, looks perfect.
Remarkable.
I'm probably gonna,
Yes.
with a slight sort of jump into the air for maybe only like 2 or 3 feet, feeling my wings sort of slow my descent, and then with a burst, I'm going to dash to Riz and give him a big embrace.
He's currently like on your arm, having like held you up a little bit, so you can see him straight away. He's right there. You don't even have to dash to him. He's right there. I'm going to bring the artwork open. There is the artwork. I've got it on the stream. There is the updated artwork with the wings in place.
Hey!
As you pull him into a big hug, Rizuchi goes,
Yes. Perhaps physical contact could be kept to minimum. But
No, just accept it. Thank you so much.
Rizichik accept, but security systems.
and it's at this point you hear a sudden alarm in the ceiling blare for a moment. You hear Rizuchi go,
Damn.
and at that point you watch as a panel slides open in the door. An enormous spider with metal plating taking like parts of its chitinous surface removed from it begins scuttling over towards you. Watch as it raises up its spinnaker, thread beginning to pull before you hear Rizichik make a series of clicks and chirps with his mandibles. At that point, you watch as the spider slows to a stop, moves right up to you, Bart. These 8 compound eyes, red and glowing, move right up into your space. Look at you for a few moments and then back off again. But the spider stays in place looking at the rest of you.
Question.
Yeah.
Does this mechanical spider look like the mechanical?
It's not fully mechanical. It's a spider that's had these metal plates attached to its chitin, a little bit like Rizuchik. You know how he's got those sort of chitinous plates that he's adapted and molded. The same has been done to this spider. And as you look at it, you realize it looks very different to any other spider you've seen before. As it moved across the ground, it moved so quickly, you noticed there was a bit of an after image. There was this kind of like, a little bit reminiscent of when Harry's soul was partly severed from his corpse for a moment. And as you watch the spider sort of move back into position, you can see the spinnaker that's been replaced. There's a series of organs and what looks like plates that have been grafted onto the underside of it. And it seems to be pooling this ball of energy, this like almost like plasma kind of goo pooling at the end of the spinnaker that slowly lowers. And as these like tiny droplets of molten plasma strike into the metal, you hear this tss as it begins to burn through the metal in place. As Rizichik turns and goes,
Apologies. My
whisper in Riz's
God
ear.
is protective.
Sample of love given. And hug him tightly and then let go.
As Rizichik pauses, freezing in place almost in this moment, but for a moment you're worried something you've said has maybe insulted the creature. And then you feel one of the smaller articulated arms that are much closer to the chest reach up and pat you on the head.
Sample accepted. Love added to collection. Have not sampled before. Cerebrospinal fluid sample requested.
Denied.
We shall wait.
Look, Christian's just as shocked as Bart because I didn't
Nothing
have plans for this. I was making a Owlin that was going to just be disabled for the campaign as a nerf, as we'd worked out other ways to balance it with the character.
Differently abled.
I guess like the hard work has made it. So look, above board, thanks everyone for helping the story get to this part. Now I guess all I need is the armor from Nyx so that I can actually fly with heavy armor. Because unfortunately, Owlins, if it's heavy armor, they cannot fly while wearing it. So while I'm in my plate, I'll still need to walk, but that's fine. I don't need my plate armor when I'm dancing.
This is why the Owlin are commissioning the special metal to be made, right? Why the Aarakocra, why they need it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I know that we got some metal samples from the special armor.
Oh, yes.
Did we get any of the intact, finished armor pieces at all? Or is it just the raw?
Unfortunately, Nyx rushed down, gathered up all of the leftover pieces. When she saw what was happening with the giants, when she saw what was happening with Obsidian Foot, Nyx went down and made sure she had all of that with her, knowing that the supply was about to be severely interrupted. Yeah.
I'll turn to everyone. I'd like to go outside, if that's okay. If you have more business with Riz, that's fine. I would like to get some fresh air.
Oh, yes, of course. You wish to test out your wings, then?
Yes.
Of course.
Be cautious. Muscles have been regrown from scratch, but might feel different. Flying is precision. Might want to take it slow.
I can accompany you if you need assistance, Bart.
That would be nice. Riz, flying is art.
Yes. I had wings once.
Oh. Well-
Keep in mind that you do currently have the muscle strength of a fledgling.
No, muscles have been regrown. But the nerve connections might not be exactly as they were. Is like learning again. Learning to fly again a little. But muscles good, nerve conduction good. Risichik, proud of this wing.
Okay. I guess I'll turn to the doorway. I'll grab actually my armor and chuck that in the backpack and sort of sling that over my shoulder. Riz, it was lovely.
Unusual response. Catalogued. Most scream.
Well, I guess I'll be seeing you too then, Riz. I'll be with Bart to keep him safe.
No problems. Remember, if you need to speak with Rizichik, return before next few months. Rizichik will have departed.
Keep that in mind.
Good
Mind some.
luck.
I would maybe think about some. Maybe we'll come back.
And if you make it to Astral Citadel, Rizichik will be there for some cycles after. Lots to catalogue.
Actually, before I leave, Riz, your creature there, the metal that was used, it reminded me of something actually.
He's not metal. He's grown. Looks like metal. He's organic polymer.
Oh, entirely organic?
Yes. Metal. Grown. As in a way.
I look around the ship. Is this ship organically grown as well?
No. Risk had organic ship for some time. It rotted. Metal more durable for astral sea. Hungry things in the sea.
Do you know much about metal? Or is it you mainly work with flesh, obviously, but
Yes, biological samples. Much more interesting. Metal is plain. Metal is boring.
Oh, okay.
Risk has some knowledge of metals, though, if you wanted. Analysis. Yes. Risk can.
I did actually was wondering if you knew anything about this, and I will pull out some of the fragments of the enriched metal that we received in the Underdark from the armor.
You watch as the arms come forward, the smaller ones reach up, begin examining the metal. You watch as Rizchik reaches forward, bites it with his mandibles, tastes it a little bit, and then places it on a little dais, spins it round. You watch as a series of lights begin to dance over the surface. A series of red lines swing backwards and forwards, forming this lattice of light over the surface of it. And then a moment later, you watch as Rizchik's little grey slate lights up for a second, and then that illusionary screen appears above him once again. You watch as he examines it.
Yes. Interesting composition. Detecting electrum, aluminium, trace amounts of darulium, and more. Mithril. Interesting. This is giant alloy, yes? From giant constructs.
Yes, I believe so. It was found in the Underdark.
Underdark. Stone giant. Yes.
Yes.
Curious. Rizicik knows one who would give right arm for sample of this.
In
Not here.
this.
No, in Citadel.
Good point. Would you do business? We could give you some. We have a couple of fragments of it. Would your colleague or person of interest be interested in this enough? Would you take it to him?
Yes, Rizicik is headed there anyway. It is no bother. But how will Rizicik repay? Unless you come to Astral Citadel. You come?
Do you know of a good way of us to get there?
There are ways to traverse the seas and planar travel. While problematic, giants, magic still in flux. Planar travel could get you there. But Griswold, yes, companion Griswold, no. He should know. He can take you. He will have to flee as well, eventually.
Well, maybe in that case, we'll hold on to this until we see your colleague, and perhaps you can do introductions when we do arrive.
Yes. So you are not eaten. Yes.
Well, yes, that would be preferable. I would not
You
like
look
to
so
be...
tasty, all of you. Rizicik has resisted.
Oh.
Is joke. Is funny? Is joke. No. Translator not working. Try again.
You watch as Rizicik bangs the translator for a second. She goes,
Rizicik want to eat you, but does not.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yes.
That was a good one there.
Calibrate for new humor in translator.
No.
Good. Yes.
No.
Done.
No.
Yes.
See, it's funny for us with the context of Hadar, but for other people that come to visit you, they will probably just think that you want to eat them.
But laugh. Noise sound like this.
you watch as Rizicik presses play on an audio file on his little tablet, and you hear the sound of a woman screaming in fear before it peters off into nothing. Rizicik goes,
Sample of laugh. Captured.
No,
Yes.
Oh,
no.
quiet.
But
No.
fleshling,
Fear.
open mouth and noise.
Fear.
Come out, no?
Talking
you'll
is
find-
fleshling, open mouth, and noise come out.
Yes.
which is Rizicik
Different
turns and
context.
begins typing away on the little tablet for a second. Really quite confused. Like,
Yes, we'll update.
You may want an analysis on the vocal cords during that.
Sample requested.
No, not mine.
Oh, we shall.
Literally reconstructed
wait.
mine. You have a sample.
Yes, true. Is there more for Rizicik?
the mandibles clatter excitedly, clicking together.
More flesh. More flesh for Rizicik. Yes.
No
No.
more flesh. No more flesh. But
We will
perhaps
wait.
a question or two.
Yes,
probably-
question's
That's okay.
good.
Probably at this point, I'll turn and walk out.
At the
with,
point where he
Bart.
threatened to eat you? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Checks out. Yeah. You're like, I'm delicious. Kentucky Fried Owlin. Gotta get out of here. As you and Bart begin making your way back up to the surface, you pass through this series of metal corridors. The doors open for you, leading you through that chamber of the the spectator frozen in glass, the other monstrosities held in place that displace a beast. Again, you watch as that eye follows you across the room as you walk through, make your way back up the stairs. As you emerge back out into the sunlight, I'm assuming, Bart and Niles, the plan is to recalibrate your wings again, to get used to the flying again now, the flesh sculptor.
Nah,
has returned.
bro, I'm just taking off.
Sweet. Just take off. Not even going to try. Could you please make for me an athletics or acrobatics check? Your choice.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Niles, you're so ready. You know that you're going to have to catch him. You know that this is going to fuck up. And you know Bart well enough to know that he's going to just do this. So as you go to sort of like catch him, you are floored. As with one powerful beat of his wings, Bart just takes off, vertical ascension straight up into the sky. At this point, Niles, you're pretty certain whatever Rizicik dialed the muscles into, he's over-dialed them. That is, whatever the strength is on these, something's wrong. Like, you're like, there must be some carbon fiber shit mixed in with this, because this is not how you, like, vertical takeoff after having just regrown your wings. No. Most Owlin can't do that, let alone like do it at a moment's notice. But in this moment, you are filled with just pure joy as you wheel and spin in the air, dropping your heavy armor in the bag over your shoulders, dropping it to the ground as you just take off in this vertical ascension, leaving Niles to sort of like guard your shit as you just basically take off vertically. As you fly around, you feel complete once again. Those months stuck underground with the Duergar as a slave with your wings having been severed. Finally, you are back to the Owlin that you were meant to be. You are restored. And it feels joyous and wonderful. But there's still a pain there, knowing that your family betrayed you. Your brother sold you out into this situation. And even though your body now no longer shows those scars, your heart still does. Your mind still holds that. It's definitely a step in the right direction, a step towards healing. But what you said to Vice sounds like you believe you need to confront Alphonse to understand what happened.
Honestly, in Bart's mind, he still very much has a lot of mistrust of his father, and I think that's less about what has happened recently and more about just his childhood. Because his father had done so much to control him, control his life. These later things that have now happened, he's just lumping if bad things happened because of him, so obviously the new bad things are because of him too. My brother definitely has a reason. My brother never did anything bad. He always looked out for me and protected me. So that's still the sort of thoughts in Bart's mind. But in this moment, I think all of that is just gone. The noise of the wind taking it back, and I'm probably going to just start doing the dives, twists, pirouettes in the air of the theocracies, sort of like Nepal-esque dancing / almost like combat in the air, just above the town. Just
it's like almost like a martial arts kata in a way, right? Combining these movements, these elegant movements that are used in military, in martial arts forms, but also in the beauty of them, the movement of them as a form of dance, almost a form of theater. Yeah, for sure.
Just above them, it's the Green Man, right? The tavern. Yeah,
the Green Man is the tavern. Yeah. Which is people point, like people clap. There's a crowd. It's a natural 20. Like, yeah, you fucking nail it, right? Like, it's the best performance you've ever given. It's people like applaud underneath. You see people pointing. Niles, yeah, you watch as what was that? I'm trying to remember the bartender. She was Maloranok, wasn't she? Yeah, Maloranok bartender. Got her name here. As she steps out, looks up and goes like,
"Well, that is rather impressive. Look at him go. It's incredible. So the flesh sculptor, things went well?"
Well, you can see it did.
Good. Now, I'm guessing you'll all want some drinks after all this, or once he's done.
Well, yes, some of our companions are still downstairs. I think you could get a couple of drinks ready to go. I think we could have a bit of a debrief, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Set a booth aside for you, and you can come in whenever you're ready.
Gives you a nod, pats you on the back, heads back inside. Harry, Ember, and Lyra back downstairs. You watch as
I think Harry would have gone out with
back up as well.
Yeah.
Harry also doesn't want to be consumed. As the spider gets right up close to you, Harry, and is like leaning over the top of you. This enormous arachnid. For context, like 8 meters tall. It's just huge as it kind of leans over you, Harry. Look up. There's a rough genetic memory there. Everything in your like genetic heritage is like, get the fuck away from this. You accompany the boys up at the surface. You're there with Niles on the surface, just leaving Ember and Lyra.
I didn't see you there, Harry.
Oh no, I've been here the whole time.
He's pretty sneaky.
You are fairly sneaky though.
Oh no, I wasn't this time. I was just being out in the open.
Oh well, it was probably because I was too captivated on Bart, his performance.
It was pretty spectacular.
Truly incredible.
Do a loop-de-loop. Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. There it is. As you say that, you watch as your illusionary form of figment rises up from your heartstone, Harry, like on your shoulder, and goes,
"Yes, do a barrel roll. Yes, correct. Do a barrel roll."
as Niles kind of like keeps watching Bart like reuniting with the air, there's a sense of like there's a happiness there. Like Niles, like there's a little tear welling in his eye. Ah, yes. This is the Bartholomew I remember. From all those days in court, from all the dancing, it's finally good to have him back.
Back down below, Ember, Lyra, as you stand before Rizichik, the ant-like creature scuttles over towards you, leaning in to both of you.
You have questions? Questions for Rizichik?
I think I'd probably look at Ember first and just sort of be like, hey, do you have anything you want to ask, in relation to anything, like, even volcanoes or anything that you want to avoid?
Exactly right. I mean, Rizichik, you're taking samples of things. Have you seen any giant fire creatures come through recently, or have you heard any news or anything like that?
Yes. Yes, you mentioned before I was scanning for volcanic activity. Ship is powered by heat. Geothermal. Yes. Scan is nearly complete. Let us see what it has found.
I had Ember. First thing he did was ask, like, "Hey, what's going on with like the volcanoes, please, or is it?" And so I figured that'd be the first thing Ember would do. So he's been doing a little scan for you in the background. As Rizichik turns around, waves his hands over the slate once again, you watch as the illusionary screen in front of you changes and shifts. This time showing what looks like a topographical map of a fair chunk of the nearby area. Most of Oshia, the continent of Oshia, is here. You can see a big chain of the shattered islands, even parts of the Obsidian Isles over towards the south there. The northern tip of Chiari, the Dragonborn homeland, the Draconic homeland, and even a little bit of Balmia, the Dwarven homeland, over towards the far east. So it's a big old chunk of the world here. And you can see there are several points that are flashing. Rizichik sort of examines them and goes like,
Yes, this one. Closest.
As he reaches up and zooms in, you watch as the worldview shifts, almost like you're looking down on this, like almost like a wireframe representation of the world, this like three-dimensional model. But as it gets closer, you watch as it zooms in on a series of islands just towards the west of where you are currently, a little bit south and a little bit west. Ember, these are the islands that you have marked on your map, the one that you recovered from the Aarakocra Messenger Guild, from that swan Aarakocra, where the most recent eruption had taken place. And as the image blurs for a second, you watch as Rizichik reaches up, pulls across a series of runes that sort of shift and sway under his fingers, these strange, very angular, almost like symmetrical glyphs. And as the image shifts, you can see what looks like a small buzzing creature, and you are looking out of its eyes as Rizichik goes,
Drone has arrived. At closest. Yes, let us see. Let us look.
The view through the eyes, the compound eyes, is a bit confusing at first. You can see the image is slightly shifted and fragmented, but as your eyes begin to adjust and your brain begins to fill in the gaps, you can see in front of you a volcano erupting, spewing forth lava. Not this violent eruption straight into the sky, but something even more sinister and scary. An almost never-ending flow of lava has pooled around the top, broken through the eastern half of the mountain, and is now pouring down towards the ocean. A cloud of steam rises from where it touches, and you can see the island is growing in real time as the lava pours through this section, pushing out and extending the island. What you'd thought was smoke rising from the volcano, Ember, you realize now is probably mostly the steam from that lava smashing into the ocean. You can see vast towers of what looks like these like crystallized salts at the edge of where the lava has vaporized the water and is now coalescing, forming these like metallic crystals as it burns away the water and leaving behind the salt that then crystallizes with the metals in the lava. There is smoke billowing from the top of the volcano, but yeah, that steam is enormous, the cloud of steam. And what's more, you can see two islands to the south of this. What looks like a small village is being evacuated in real time. You can see a group of the outrigger crafts, these like almost like Polynesian style rafts, have beached themselves, and you can see a group of Maloran orcs helping townsfolk evacuate onto these boats. It looks like maybe some Maloran orcs from one of the nearby cities has come to their rescue, has sent some wave riders as quick as possible to try and evacuate these people out of there. And you can see an airship hovering above as well. It looks like maybe one of the Ocean airships. A bit bigger than a standard brig airship. You can see the enormous crystal lattice around the back providing lift and thrust. And it looks like on the deck of the ship, a group of soldiers, a group of mercenaries getting ready to jump over the edge, hopefully using Featherfall tokens to get to the ground safely. Suicide Squad, depart! we must send sacrifices to the volcano to appease the gods. No, it does seem to be a genuine effort to try and evacuate this village near the volcano. As you're looking through the eyes of this creature, could you please make for me a perception or investigation check for both of you? I would also like to have a massive welcome to Armin, the raiders from Armin. Welcome, everybody. Have you guys come across from D&D as well? It is lovely to have you join us. We are doing our homebrew D&D adventure, Return of the Giants. It's a delight and a pleasure to have you here. Tell us where you've come from. What have you been up to tonight? That is a 23 from Ember and a 24 from Lyra. You guys are keeping it really consistent. There's no audio. Good question, Ali. There's no audio through the drone. As you look through the eyes, the compound eyes, the view that you're getting does make it hard to see. But both of you, almost at the exact same time, spot something in the caldera of the volcano as the drone sort of wheels to avoid a patch of steam, this massive burst of steam rising from the water's edge. It's a glint of something reflective. And as you spot it, Rizuchik doesn't seem to have seen it.
Can I point it out?
Yeah, for sure. As you tap the ant-like creature on the shoulder, turns towards you, mandibles clicking. Yes.
What's that?
Oh, metal. It is dangerous to get a closer look, but we can grow more. More drones. I shall send.
With that, you watch as the drone accelerates forwards. At this point, you're thinking maybe it's some kind of like dragonfly kind of creature that he's flying. The view that you're seeing through these two compound eyes is almost 360. You can kind of see back and around the body. And as the wings begin to blur into this like infinite form, you watch as the dragonfly flies forwards. As it gets closer, you watch as one of the wings almost immediately catches fire. This fine, veiny, gossamer wing immediately burning away as it gets closer. The drone immediately twists and falls. You watch as flames begin to burn across its body as it enters over the top of the volcano. But as it falls, the eyes capture something. Inside the caldera, you can see a ring of interlocking blocks, what almost look like these iridescent, rectangular metallic structures growing from each other, moving around. And as they pulse with light, this almost like iridescent rainbow-like coloring pulsing across their surface, you watch as the volcano rumbles for a moment and lava begins to rise from the center faster than ever.
Two questions. One is, was it only one wing that was vaporized? And the second is sort of, what is like the average temperature? Are we talking like, is it like gaseous temperature? Was it like lava was fired at the drone, or?
It looks like the air temperature above this is burning the insect alive. It is still an insect, and it's a sad thing, but the flashpoint for burning of those membranes, the wing membranes on dragonflies, is actually really low. Don't ask me how I know this. It's not from personal experience. This is just one of those random things that I remember from. No. We did the same beauty course, Ali. I know this from that. I know this because of the protein structure that's in them. It's quite prone to catching fire and burning quite easily. They're very delicate, those structures. You think it's just the air temperature. Like, to be fair, you did fly it over the top of an active volcano. To be fair.
I was just going to say, if the wings were intact over the volcano, then it can't have been, like, either it's like a super strength wing membrane, or the volcano is not as hot as we think it might be. I'm just thinking, like, the survivability of the village that's, like, below the volcano.
Yeah, not great. Like, looking at this, you think, like, I mean, you watch as the dragonfly plummets. The last thing you see is the eyes, these crystalline eyes melting, distorting the image before it burns away, and everything is lost. This flash of red light, and then darkness. Rizicik turns to you, goes,
Ha! We must grow another.
Sorry.
It's no problem. They are easy. Flesh is easy to craft.
That structure, the cuboid one, that looks like it was in the volcano. Do you know what that is?
No clue. Have not seen things like it. Sorry.
Well, I don't think we're going to have time to make another drone anyway. We probably should maybe head towards there to see if we can help or do something.
Rizicik would advise. Flesh burns. Be careful.
You don't have anything to help with that? Some Eshishon sunscreen? Anything?
Sun. Screen. What is this? Screens from sun. Translation. Blocks? Yes. No.
Worth asking. Well, thank you very much.
Anytime. If you wanted. Scales. Yes. More heat resistant. Have some red dragon.
Oh.
Would it take long to make something functioning out of that?
Grow
And-
scales on body. Not hard at all. Take some time
Not on
though.
a body, but on their own. You know, I guess it does take time.
you watch as the creature looks at you with as much confusion as an ant can muster in its face, which is the mandibles, as if it can't possibly understand what you're saying. What do you mean not grow scales on a person? What are you talking about? There's the only solution to a problem, clearly. Like,
Then they're removable, you know? Like, you know, if you just make the scales and you make the scales into clothing, and then, you know, they can be fitted and
clothing.
removed as required.
Quaint.
It's comfy. But then sort of tangent, like sort of trying to do like a little bit of tangent over to sort of the clothing. It's like that special metal that Niles showed you just before. Would manipulating it be something that you could do here, sort of, you know, within a time frame before you leave? Like,
Apologies. Rizicik has not the facilities for forging. If a ship was badly damaged, Rizicik would be stranded.
no, I hear that. Well, if anything like that happens, you know, let us know. 'Cause we'll, at the very least, we can get you to Griswold, and he might have an idea. I was gonna
Yes.
say though, it's,
Where are you currently located?
and then again, like on that map that we were sort of working off earlier, I just point exactly to sort of center of Oxenfurt, like
Oxenfurt.
look for the
Yes.
Tempest Guild.
Rizicik has been to Oxenfurt once. Children threw stones.
Yeah, maybe if you go at night and wear a cloak, you might look very suspicious, but it might be a slightly easier experience for you.
Rizicik
but-
will mold flesh for more tame appearance.
Yeah, but you know, if you need help, we're there.
We'll consider.
I guess,
Have not seen Griswold in many years, centuries. Translation.
translation?
Translation is not precise. How you track time is different.
Well, I was also going to ask, would you maybe have a quick way for us to get to Ember's village where the volcano is? Because if we can help, we'd like to try and save as many people as we can.
Can maybe try and grow mount. You like claws? You like mandibles? You like wings? Yes, Rizicik can grow mount. Will take 5 days. Quick.
Okay, maybe not fast enough, but good to know.
Why so fast? Better to wait for
I'm-
quality.
You know, fleshlings are flammable, and you know it's a bit of an imminent threat. So
Yes, your lives are so short. Does it not scare? Does it not depress?
I mean, is it any different from living for hundreds and thousands of years? I mean, if it's
Yes,
at the end of the day,
objectively,
it's the
yes.
people that
It is.
the experience you have
Mathematically
along the way.
so.
True, but if you spent that entire time locked in a, iron vault, devoid of experience.
Rizicek
Trust me,
spent
it's
some
not a
time
nice
in
thing.
Rizicek spent some time in birthing chamber. You call, translate. Oubliette. No. Hole. No. Askikak. No translate. Oh well.
Oh well. But
Good
yeah,
luck,
definitely.
fleshlings. If you die, Rizicek will take sample, yes?
No, yeah. I mean, again, you've already got my entire DNA. You kind of grew it, so go wild.
Rizicek will go wild with flesh. Yes, if die. Shame. We will wait.
Yeah, no, I can't complain about that. All right. Thank you for helping us with our friend.
Gratitude accepted.
And yeah, go to the Tempest Guild if you need help. And then I think I'm just gonna go upstairs and go find that drink that being
As
bored.
you rush off with Ember, catching up with the rest of them up on the surface. By the time you emerge, Bart has had a good fly around, beginning to feel a bit of fatigue kicking in at this point. Harry, are you currently enjoying a little drink in the bar, or just gonna hang outside, watch Bart? Actually, if you guys want to
Harry's
stay
just
outside, the
hanging
bartender
outside
will
watching.
she'll carry out a table for you to sit outside. Like, that's easy. She's jacked as all shit. She's like 6'3". She's got muscles on her muscles. She's happy to carry out a table for you guys to sit and eat outside if you want. It's not a problem.
Do they have apple cider since he's a Harrengon?
Yes, they have apple cider.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just
She has,
imagining like
she has a type of apple cider that she calls scumble. You're not sure what that means, but like it does seem that it's. I mean, she describes it as like a herbal cider, and it's good for you. She's very adamant on that it's good for you.
I'm just imagining us sitting on like a little green hill in front of the Green Man, just drinking and just watching like Bart like pirouetting in the air.
Yeah, for sure. In that case, then
What's
she'll bring out a little small table to like put right in the middle of the hill for you to drop stuff on top of.
Amazing.
Harry sipping through a straw because being a Harrengon with the mouth the way it is, he can't actually drink from a cup.
Yeah, because you haven't got like the seal, right? Your lips don't seal together.
Exactly.
Split.
They just dribble down. It was just elegantly one leg over the other.
Unless you put your whole
the
head
straw.
like into the glass. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be served with a straw. To be fair, like you're drinking cider.
Harry had
Sorry.
to ask for one. Harry.
You asked for a straw, and then you're not even going to use it.
No, I have to use the straw.
You have to use a straw. Couldn't you just tip or like lick it?
Yeah, but I can only get so far in. You know, like a rabbit's snout
You can
only goes
tilt-
in like so
You
far in
can
the
tilt
glass.
the glass, my friend, and still lick it up. Like the meniscus
then
of the
it'll go
water will
everywhere.
always stay relative to the gravitational pull of the earth. Like it's always gonna.
I don't have lips, mate.
You don't have the lip
Hey,
strength.
you can
That's a
look
hell of a
Just
statement.
Because the bottom part opens up, right? So it's like
No, it's just the top part.
bottom-
The bottom lip doesn't open, does it? I thought the bottom lip was complete, and then the top lip was split in line with the nose. It's like a
I like to
cleft.
think that Harry is able to drink normally, but he doesn't understand that and drinks overly
like a
complicated.
fucking.
He thinks that's what he
you're
has
not like
to
a.
do.
You're not like a fucking. You're like the arbiter from Halo. You don't have like the full split open jaws. You're not like the predator. Like rabbits have like a full lower jaw. It's the top lip that's split and cleft.
Yes, this is correct, actually.
Yeah.
You are correct.
You owned rabbits. You owned rabbits, Dave. You know what rabbits look like. How do I know this more than you do?
I'm
I live in a
always looking at
state
them
where it's
upside
illegal
down.
to own rabbits. You're always looking at them upside down.
I'd like to think that like Niles is watching this. He's like, "Oh, are you struggling there?" And then you watch. Oh, it's very easy. And then Niles just like grabs the glass in his beak and just starts like violently like.
Yeah.
And Harry tries the exact same way.
Niles deep throating the glass.
Niles then has to like vomit back up the glass in a pellet later.
yeah.
Like a proper owl pellet. Actually, yeah,
Bart
true.
looks down from flying and it sees both of us with the glasses. Like, going to drink.
No one clip this. I'm watching you. Don't. Clip
Everyone's
this.
clipping this.
That's a YouTube short. So Harry, you can just tip the glass and lick it up like a rabbit.
Harry tips
Cool.
the glass and licks it up.
And Niles, you could do the same thing because like the way birds kind of drink is you dip the lower beak in, lift it up, and swallow. You can do that with the glass as well. I mean, it doesn't look as bad as you opening your beak so wide you get the glass stuck in it and then go.
I mean, I looked a video up.
I guess it's
then
how
of
it
a
used to
bird
be fed
drinking.
as like a baby bird. Yeah.
Yeah. And the bird just grabs the glass on the side and just violently shakes it around with his butt, with his beak. And I was like, that's...
I don't think
not
that's a bird
kind of-
drinking. I think that's a bird being an asshole. But like, I like that that's what you do. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. No. I drink it normally. It's fine.
There you go.
As normally as a birdman can.
Harry, as you are served the scumble, it is given to you in a metal glass, a full metal flagon. And as it's placed on the table in front of you, you can see where the metal has been etched at various points. Hopefully not by the contents of the glass, by the contents of the mug. But as she places it down in front of you, gives you a bit of a pat on the back, and she goes, "It will put hairs on your..." She looks at your completely fur-covered body and goes, "On your hairs. Yes, he's good." And then heads off back inside again. You watch as a small butterfly flaps a bit too close to the top of the scumble and immediately drops down and lands face up, just next to the glass, next to the pewter tankard.
Oh.
It's like twitching, I imagine. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Harry will take a light sip.
Harry. Oh, yeah. Strong flavor of apples, but it's really having to fight off just the pure alcohol content of this. Could you please make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, my sip? Yeah, sure.
Dang.
Where is my...
This is for those of you who are big fans of Terry Pratchett, you will recognize this drink immediately. This is a reference. Natural fucking 20! Holy
Whoa!
shit. Harry, this is some weak fucking shit. Your dad's carrot moonshine would put this to shame. You've had... Your dad, when he brewed carrot moonshine, he would not serve it until it could kill a man at 3 paces. Like, the alcohol content should be able to knock out a cow from at least a meter away. That's how you know when your dad's carrot moonshine was done. This is all right. It's weak sauce.
Harry's eaten rotten apples with higher alcohol content than this. Like he's loving it.
It's delicious. It's very alcoholic, but for some reason, maybe it's the method in which you're drinking allows for some of the alcohol to evaporate, right? As you're like over the top of it with your cleft lip moving around, because keeping a bit of airflow, that does kind of help evaporate some of the alcohol for sure. But maybe it's that. Maybe it's your incredibly high alcohol tolerance. You're not sure, but for some reason, this isn't really even hitting the sides. It's delicious. It's a little bit sweet. There's a kind of there's a body to it. Almost like a bit of like a herbal kind of aftertaste, but not an unpleasant one. It's quite nice. But yeah, very strong flavor of apples. Mostly apples. Yeah. Mostly apples.
Yeah. So he's got his cider. He's watching the show. He's having a great time.
Cheers.
Yeah. Does Bart actually do a barrel roll after the request?
100% after the request. You probably wouldn't hear it the first maybe 1 or 2 times you shout it out because I'm just in my own mind so deeply. But definitely I'd go extremely high. And then in the arc of going down, I'd probably barrel roll down as like a dive and then stop gusting back up just above the ground.
I can't
Harry and
pretend
Figman lose their shit.
Harry, if you're going to sit here and drink that, whatever that is, do you mind looking after Bart's armor? I wanted to go join my friend up there.
Yeah, I'll look up with all the stuff.
And so after a while, after watching you fly around, Niles will stretch out his wings and join you.
As you come to join, my Bart had been so much thinking about himself and having a moment to just appreciate having this back. But I'm actually going to try to, rather than making a mental connection with Niles, I'm going to try to reach out to Kong Chi.
As you do, Bart, connection forming in your mind. You watch as the light glittering behind you, the sunlight high above, blinds you for a brief second, and you hear this cry echoing from above you, this kind of like strange, almost scream-like cry for a moment, like a fox's cry. And then flying down from above you, wheeling and ducking around you, you see Kong Chi with wings restored as well.
Whoa.
Kong Chi is a manifestation of your spirit. Kong Chi, as you see yourself with wings, and given that you had a natural 20, you find that connection once again. Yeah.
That's simply
Kong Chi's
marvelous,
restored.
Bart.
I was not expecting this at all. Sort of hovering, I guess, like slowly just staying in place, flapping with Kong Chi beside. I'll rub my hand through his thick red fur, scratch underneath the snouts and teeth. Would you like to play some fetch?
Strange, like baying bark from this fox-like creature.
Niles, do you have a ball?
There's a stick on the ground. You just pick up a stick.
1 moment. I swoop back to the ground, grab the stick, fly back up. Try this.
Excellent. And I'd like to actually sink a first level spell slot into this. Have some fun. We're in the roleplay. I don't just want to use stuff for combat. I'm going to sink a first level spell slot into this unarmed attack as I'm going to throw it and try to. Well, I know Divine Strike is usually a melee attack, but I would like to put one into this hit. Actually, no, I can do this rule as written. I'm going to take away the Divine Smite, etch that out. I'm going to do a Stone Giant's Strike, where you throw it with enough force that it can push something else, which can be used on a melee weapon or a ranged weapon that has the thrown capacity. So I'm going to Stone Giant's Strike, just pelt the stick as far as physically possible.
Could you make me an athletics check to see how well this goes?
I'm happy with that. A 13.
You watch as the stick, as it leaves your hand, there's almost a sonic boom as the stick goes, vanishes over the horizon. As you watch it disappear, Kong Chi takes off at a dive, disappearing into the woodlands in the distance, trying to catch up to it.
I'm fine. I trust Kong Chi to take care of himself.
It's at this point you watch as Lyra and Ember emerge from the tavern and begin making their way over towards you. Ember looking a bit more kind of rushed, Lyra looking more sort of contemplative, I'd say.
We should. I'll go join them if you're okay up here. Need a bit longer.
It's been a while since I've done it. I was practicing some of the dancing, but would you like to do a? I learned a little bit about martial arts, not too much, but one of a practice skit. I know that I often saw people just narrowly missing each other in what seemed to be pre-rehearsed formations.
Oh yes. That sounds marvelous.
I know. I feel like it's probably been a while since you've done something like that either, considering that your usual spars with Threign. Threign can't quite have the same capabilities as a theocracy monk.
That is true. Threign is well, our combat has been quite ferocious in a test of speed versus strength, but I have not had a chance to spar with my own member of the Eris theocracy for some time since I left. So yes. If we can do, if there is some sort of sutra or some sort of regime that you could teach, I would be happy to oblige.
Well, you teach me. I just thought you might have missed this. I'm not sure how long it's been since you've been back in one of your masters.
Well, sure. We do have some training regimes that we would run, some drills, if you will. If you would like to run one with me, let's go ahead. Follow my lead.
100%. And the idea being that over the course of this, those where you see the martial arts pre-made skits where one person punches, the other person dodges out of the way, and it's organized movements. But wanting Niles to experience something of back home as well. I'm not sure how long it's been since you've been there.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So like kind of like it's like as like I guess like Bart is reconnecting with the world, like that's the same I guess, experiences that Niles would have had when he left the aristocracy, which would have been years ago. So yeah, there's a bit of enjoyment here. It's been a long time since Niles would have done anything like this before.
Nice. As the two of you duck and weave, Harry, Ember, Lyra, back on the ground, the three of you reunite just outside the tavern.
I think Lyra sort of after hitting level 8 and remembering that in the 2024 rule set I gain a form with fly speed.
What the hell?
I turn into a giant vulture and I just sort of fly around, like, you know, I don't know the
Wait, what?
don't know any of the sutras or anything, but there is just now a giant vulture just keeping pace, just like, yeah, this is cool.
What the? Oh, Lyra.
Also, apparently I can talk in wild forms now, so that's new.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you just say like, "Hey guys," and I'm like, "Whoa!"
Stop.
What? Wait, what's the big butt? Oh, it's Lyra. That's new.
Actually,
Fly
that's
now,
the same for
apparently.
you, Ember. You can do the same thing.
Oh, I was going to send Flicker up, then I could sit with Harry while I'm just watching him drink his drink. So interesting. Like, they're doing this fantastic up there, and I'm just staring at Harry going, "What is this?"
As Harry's smashing back, I mean, paint thinner has a lower alcohol content than this, Ember. As you watch Harry smash this, how this little bunny is still vertical, you have no fucking clue.
And he's having a great time. Every now and again, he's like, "Yeah!" And then, like, his drink.
I'm gonna stop the dancing after maybe a couple minutes as everyone's enjoying themselves, and maybe even longer than that, honestly, maybe even after like 20-30 minutes, as just the afternoon is going by a bit, and looking a bit contemplative beside Lyra and Niles. Sorry, it's come to my mind, and I have no intention of hiding it, but I do want to give my honest thoughts. I spoke with that devil again. Accidentally, not of volition. I was trying to reach out to Satine when Briz was completing my surgery.
Oh, with the heartstones, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I learned some things and I wanted to tell you about them.
Okay.
Should we head back down, or is this sort of something you want to keep on the quiet side?
No, I don't mind telling the others as well, although it might be better to tell the others when we are somewhere more private rather than just out in the open. I'm happy to tell you both up here, though, while we're in the air. Sound away.
You also know that you've got to go meet up with the airship back outside of town. If you're going to make your way there now, that'd be pretty private. Could make your way there now,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm happy to, I'll sort of live with that, and when we get to the airship then, we'll find a moment.
Of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing pressing unless it starts to get to nighttime. Just
If you're going to head outside of town and wait for the airship to come, you know the airship said they'd be back again in the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. It's probably
Okay,
sort
we're
of
fine
2
then.
o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
You've got time to meet up outside town, away from prying ears, not on the deck of the airship, which is not away from prying ears. If you wanted to have a bit of a moment to discuss that, now's probably the best time, actually, before the airship gets back, while you're outside of town. It's a good time to do it, for sure.
I've also would just like to get as much benefit from this as possible through the dancing and the sound of wind and the pirouetting. Could I use the musician and inspiring leader during this like rest that we're kind of taking? We're drinking the beer and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. 12 temporary hit points for any of those that did take damage during the Oni fight. And I'll give inspiration. I used mine. I know that we were stacking up. Has anyone used theirs in the Oni fight?
with Swampy, I would have lost all of mine, and then after 10 minutes, it's now back to 0.
You take one, and then Niles or Harry. I can't see.
How long does the inspiration last?
It's just it doesn't have a time limit.
Oh, I still have mine, so I'm fine.
No, sorry. Inspiration, I still have mine. It was the 10 hit points I was thinking of.
Ah, yep.
Does
Yeah, I'll find it if you want to give it.
Harry or Ember use theirs at all?
I don't think Ember used his. I didn't use it in the.
I still have mine as well, actually.
Okay, perfect. You know what? I'll give one to the Maloran bar owner and one to just a random townsperson. I'll give them a wink as I'm flying by.
Nice.
Which is the bartender. Gives you a wink and a little blows a kiss at your back. Goes back to polishing some glasses and as you make your way out of town, wait until you're very sure you're alone. You've not got anyone eavesdropping or listening in. Back outside where you were dropped off from the airship. The airship
Does
has.
Kong-Chi return safely?
Yeah, Kong-Chi comes back with you with
Okay,
the stick.
I just realized we went into the forest and we just never went up.
No. Kong-Chi does make it back. You're not sure it's the same stick, but Kong-Chi does come back with a stick. Yeah.
Nice.
But as you get together, meet up outside of town, waiting for the airship to return, you can see the ship coming on the horizon, making its way towards you. You've probably got about an hour or so before it arrives. Perfect time to talk through this stuff away from prying ears, for sure.
I was mentioning it to the other two in the air, but I made contact through the Heartstone during my surgery with Vice again.
Yeah.
So
how did that go?
Look, like I said in the sky, I don't want to be hiding anything from all of you. I wanted to tell you all for the purpose of explaining what happened. He mentioned his desire, I guess is a better term for it, for the hammer to me again. Spoke to me about needing it for his own reasons, not wanting it on the material plane for the safety of people here. And as far as I could tell, he was being honest to me. I know that these creatures are exceptional at fainting when it comes to conversations, but I don't know. I just had a feeling. I did learn some things, though. I told him I would consider it, and I know I've spoken to you, Harry, and Niles, and I do understand your points, but he took Obsidian Foot. He hasn't done anything to scorn me. I know that there's always a catch to deals with devils, but I don't know. I told him that I would at least think about it. We have no way of... If Griswold can't dispel the hammer, we already know that it's dangerous and it's going to hurt anyone that it touches. We're going to need a solution to it one way or another. But putting that on hold, I did want to, I don't know, maybe make things better with Vice. We don't need to make enemies with everyone. Why do we always need to be fighting everyone we come across? I spoke with him, trying to at least get on some more malleable terms, and he gave me a gift as we were ending the conversation. We're being followed by Lothsworn.
Oh, Lothsworn. I mean, I was going to say, of course we're being followed. We were definitely spotted in Oxenfurt, I can tell you that much.
Well, we knew that by the messengers, but no, supposedly in Oxenfurt, there are 3 Lothsworn shadow hunters, the same as what took you, Harry. Even Vice was actually worried about them, making me think that all 3 of them may be on some sort of elite level, like the leader that I took the blade from.
I mean,
Sorry.
just to play, well, pun not intended, but devil's advocate, Vice is the one that put the stones in sort of a few of our hands. I'm just sort of wondering if any direction that he might be giving could be sort of trying to steer us in a particular direction, sort of to his advantage. I mean,
I understand that.
He's like, there's Lothsworn in Oxenfurt. There could be Lothsworn in Oxenfurt. I don't doubt that, but could he also be trying to keep us out of Oxenfurt for some reason we haven't even considered?
He did seem to want to steer me away from them, saying how dangerous they were, but I told him I trusted all of my companions beside me and wanted to actually verify they were there, to go to Oxenfurt and see them face to face. Not right now. Obviously, Ember, you and your family take precedence over anything right now. But I did want to verify that he was telling the truth and that this olive branch was actually an olive branch.
Perhaps we could do both. And then I sort of look around and sort of asking him, like, which of us has the sending stones? I can't remember what bag they ended up in, but the sending stones Mira has.
I have that.
Well, I was thinking we could warn her about the imminent eruptions of the volcanoes on the other islands and locations that Riz sort of let us know about. But we could also maybe let her know that there are some elite Lothsworn creeping around Oxenford.
Oh,
see if she
just
can
add
maybe
that to
pick
the
them up.
list. Yes. You've got the volcanoes, you've got the Eris, you've got the elite assassins. Yes.
Well,
I'm sure Mira will be quite busy with that.
I think that's honestly a really good idea because, as far as the Underdark went, and from what you guys have sort of at least elaborated to on many occasions, we did a. I haven't fully joined up yet. I won't take all the credit. You all did a horrible job of reporting to the Tempest Guilds all in the Underdark.
We always do. It's a bit of a meme at this point.
We were a little.
He wasn't even a member of the Tempest Guild at that point.
We were a little bit
Yeah.
preoccupied
Yes.
trying to save.
Me, Harry and Ember, and maybe even you, Niles. I think it's just Threign and Lyra.
What?
You can take responsibility, right?
Actually, it's just Lyra.
Wait. Niles was there from the beginning.
Niles was there from the beginning. Niles. It's Niles and
I
Lyra.
was there. Look, we were preoccupied trying to protect you, Bart, and to navigate our ways through the Underdark. The mission did change. We were meant to only observe, but that went a little bit wrong. Admittedly, we should have been a little bit more prompt with our discussions, but as you know, things went a bit skew-iff when poor old Harry here was taken, and then the rest is history. So we did have our minds elsewhere.
After
you're
that
right.
long-winded explanation, I'll come up and sort of punch your arm. I'm just giving you shit.
I know.
I have no excuse. I've already been pulled up on this once before.
Look, it's fine. I'll own up to it. I should have been more prompt. I
But
apologize.
look, it is coming to the end of today, so I feel like if a report's due, then now seems fine. We're still in working hours. The sun hasn't gone down fully yet.
And we are still in the location that she left us,
That is true.
Look at us.
Wow.
which is more than I can say before.
We should also discuss the logistics of. I mean, I know we need to get to your village, Ember, but do we have an idea of how that will work? I mean, I'm no expert on volcanoes, but they're pretty hot last I checked.
Well, they live beside it, right? Not in it.
So Ember's village is located on the mainland of Oshia to the east of the volcano. The volcano's an island out. Pretty decent way. Like, we're talking a couple of Ks.
We said it was near Gobreach, right?
Yeah, just so Ember's
Ember's
village is
somewhere.
Yeah. I'll ping it all for the map on you. So Ember's village is actually between. It's a bit closer to Lost Alley. Is the best way to kind of describe it. It's sort of hidden around there, the circle of wildfire. Just a little south of Lost Alley. The islands that's erupting is over towards the west, the southwest of there.
Sure.
When you say
Okay.
close to the Lost Alley as well, do you mean close to the coast, or is it in the middle of the ocean but closer to Lost Alley?
The volcano is just north of Gobreach. Ember's village is located a little bit inland, nearer to the river.
Also, it's
Lost
on the
Alley
main. Sorry,
and Evelyn.
confused.
Yeah.
It's on the mainland.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that village that you saw being evacuated, Ember and Lyra, you think that's probably Gobreach? One that you saw being evacuated in that view from the drone's eyes. You think that's probably
Okay,
Gobreach as
well-
you look at your map?
Distance-wise, look, I'm not even in-game. Distance-wise, taking a look at the map here, Oxenfurt to Willwood was about 2 hours. It looks like it's only about an extra, maybe hour longer to get to his village. Is that what you mean
That's sort of
logistics-wise?
3 hours-ish to get to here. Probably about 4 or 5 to get to Ember's village.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! I mean, not logistics. I had presumed that your village was close to the volcano. If that's the case, if there's no immediate danger to us and we're not going to be vaporized by the flames, then I don't see why we can't go there. Seems like it's a bit further away on the map, but that's okay. That's fine.
So, Ember, if your family is so far away as well, does that mean they're simply being affected by most likely the ash and quakes?
That's my understanding. What's happening right now. So, I mean, from what we've seen, I would like to go check on my village just to make sure everything's fine. But we would then maybe potentially quickly go across to see
The
what
actual
is causing this activity.
volcano
Yeah.
itself? Yeah.
I mean, in your vision, Ember, you saw the volcanoes erupting around, and then your village burned. That was the order of your dream. You don't know how much your dream is telling you the truth. I mean, so the way it kind of works is you forged this egg in the fire. flicker began to rise around you as fire began to grow across your body and burn through the houses. You saw the volcanoes erupt, and then your village burned to ash. You've not really had prophetic dreams before. You're not really sure what this is, but you know that your village elder, she 100% has prophetic dreams. She says she sees visions in the flames sometimes. And what she described, you think this could be similar.
I don't think our friend with the airship will be willing to take us back to across the water. She'll be wanting to. Well, what was the arrangement with our friend?
The airship for a day or two.
Yeah, it was just kind of a day trip.
Worst comes to worst.
They had overtime set aside. They had overtime set aside. So Cumulus was very clear. Like, I was told that you guys might take a bit longer. If that's the case, I'm authorized to stick around for another day or two if you need to get you where you need to go.
Gilligan's Island, this.
Yeah.
Worst comes, we could possibly get some sort of sea ship from, looking at the map here, Lost Alley, or look, they're inland. But would your tribe have any aid? Are they a traveling people?
They're not a traveling people, but they are big in their trade, so they might be able to help us get away across.
You guys are on the river for a reason, Ember. The traders from the floating island, from the floating cities, from the Maloran Orcs from the floating cities. The traders come up the river. It's a pretty wide river with a really large inlet. That's how your glass, the glass that your people produce, is transported out. It's really very, very easy. And I mean, you saw a whole bunch of those wave cutter rafts moving over towards Gobreach to try and save people. So there's probably a bigger contingency nearby.
If we need someone that, I think we have a perfect thing. A member of the village and someone from a merchant group.
Oh, yes.
You've got two people from a merchant group with you, actually. Niles is from a mercantile family as well.
Oh, that's who I was pointing to. I wasn't pointing to Harry. I have no idea. Do any of us know that Harry's a member of the
Harry's
Guild?
said many times that he's a member of the Merchants Guild. That he's a
merchant of kind.
Very prominent merchant.
Snake oil.
That's right. Yeah.
Niles is a member of the his family's mercantile group. What franchise are you with again?
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit of a nomad, to be honest. I represent myself.
We call that a sole trader in the business.
Yep.
Your cover, Harry, would probably be contractor or freelancer or privateer, depending on where you are and what you're doing for the Ocean Mercantile Group.
Ember.
Which does shorten to OMG, which I'm less happy about. Can I change that? The Ocean Mercantile Conglomerate.
Obviously, you grew up in this region. As we're traveling there, my own curiosity, things that could prove useful to us. Greenest, Bon Medea, Neverharar, and Lost Alley. Some of the cities or villages along the way. Are any of them of any importance? Anything that could aid us?
Green Nest is, and we've definitely been there several times.
That's where it all started.
Simon and Ali have been to Green Nest, as Wiltix and Lyra.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, Ali hasn't been to Green Nest as Lyra. I apologize.
The very early section of this.
Simon has been to Green Nest. Green Nest is where the Cult of the Dragon first kind of made a public move, and that's where the hatchery was located, just a little bit to the east of Green Nest.
Where the eggs were found.
You would all know that Green Nest is kind of like, it was the powder keg that kind of kicked off a whole bunch of this shit, because it's where the cult made their first public move against the town, and kind of revealed themselves. They've been working in the shadows up until this point. All of you would know this. That's pretty public knowledge by this point. Ember, you would know Neverharar quite well. Your people would trade with Neverharar. Lost Alley as well. It's not unusual for the Firbolgs to deal with those people. Not in large numbers, and normally not allowing them near the circle, but Neverharar and Lost Alley, your people have had some dealings with. Harry, your trading has mostly been a little bit north of Oxenfurt, I believe, if I remember from... Yeah, do you want to roll me a quick history check? We'll see how far south you've been. With the... What's your family name again? Have we given your family a last name?
I'm Harry Harrington. The
Harrington, that's right. The Harringtons. Yeah.
Was the history did you want?
Yes, please. Let's see how far south you've been. 11. Yeah, look, you've heard of Green Nest and Last Wind. Bonemered, you've not really been past Bonemered. Yeah, that's probably as far south as you've been. So these town names that Bart's kind of listing off as he looks at the map, you're just like, you've heard of them, but you've never been there. That's your cousin.
Harry nods like he knows what's
Carrie.
going on.
He handles that part of the southern map. Carrie sort of is around that area.
Yeah. And sometimes Larry, but
sometimes Larry. Jerry's been known to head that way. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So Harry nods like he knows what you're talking about, but actually hasn't been there.
So
Flicker's like, I've searched your memories. I have no information on this place, Harry. No files found.
Figment. So we take the airship to Lost Alley, and then we head inland to your village, then Ember, and perhaps if we can find a more suitable vessel. Not to say that Cumulus's vessel isn't adequate, but if we are heading towards an erupting volcano, it may serve us better if we're able to find a much more reliable vessel. And then we observe, we see what we can do in terms of the relief efforts. Is there a certain, unless you know more or there's something that you want to do specifically, are we aiming to try and find these fire giants? What is the plan here?
Well, yeah, Lyra and I actually saw some object potentially causing the eruption. So it might be worthwhile we go across to stop it. It doesn't look like it's going to cease otherwise.
And that brings me maybe to the question, which is, from where we are, we can either kind of go into the Shattered Isles and traverse sort of the land that way. I mean, the distances between the islands might be a little bit more doable, especially if maybe Ember and I, assuming it's sort of kind of 4 hours or so duration, Ember and I can probably carry ourselves, and if, between all of us, we can maybe carry Harry, we might not need the ship at all. But yeah, in the volcano, we saw this thing, possibly giant forge, possibly something completely different that we have never experienced before, but it did seem related, but that means that we're going to be moving away from Lost Alley. I mean,
just to clarify, this object you saw, this was not the humanoid that was setting them off that you saw in your visions, Ember?
No, that looks more like an
actual fire giant.
Yeah, actual fire giant. This looks like some kind of technology or object.
Made of cubes.
A bit like bismuth. If like, now that you've had a bit of a chance to reflect on it, looks like this kind of like overlapping ring of bismuth in a way.
How did you see this? Was this through... was it through the flesh sculptor? Is that what you asked about?
The drawings sent out.
Oh, I see.
And now that you mentioned bismuth, does that sort of look anything at all like the cultist that we sort of first encountered when we were in the cave? The cultist that had the...
Lyra, as you reflect back, Niles as well, you were both there for this. The crystal ganassi, the earth ganassi, who had these kind of like, not too dissimilar from Tetra, who had these kind of amethyst crystals poking through her skin, revealing this kind of crystalline structure underneath that first ganassi that you encountered. They had these kind of like bismuth-like metallic crystals growing across their skin. Yeah, Lyra, not too dissimilar at all to that.
And so I guess that's the question, and it's one for Ember, really. I mean, we've got option A, which is we go through the Shattered Isles and we see if we can find what's causing the volcano, but at that same point, we're going to be moving away from where your family is. So maybe do we go to your family first? We evacuate them all, we get them out into a same place. So even if the village burns, it's the people in it can come back at some point and rebuild. But
I put my vote for the village first.
I'm inclined to agree with Bart, and obviously we'll go with your choice, Ember. And in that case, we will use the services of Cumulus to help moving villages if need be.
Yeah. I mean, they seem to go for the highest money. We just kind of throw all the gold we have at them. I mean, they probably help.
They've already been paid. They've been paid on like a retainer, and then basically when they get back, anything that's outstanding, the guild's offered to pay for. You guys don't have to do anything out of pocket for the airship. It's all been booked.
Oh wow.
I mean, I think that's the best option. I mean, maybe it's not the smartest option, but I think for us.
You do raise a good point, Lyra. We could also just fly over to the volcanoes ourselves after we're finished with the village. We could perhaps send the airship off with Ember's villagers, and then ourselves, we could fly ourselves ahead. And
the airship that looks like it can carry maybe 7 people.
Look,
We have people inside like sardines.
look, women, children.
Niles, maybe
Yes,
just
we've
stick
renamed
on
it. It's
things.
the Hindenburg. We're calling it. It's a fine ship. I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
What?
You have good plans sometimes. Not
It's
all
the
the time.
Hindenanic, we've decided to call it, or the Tyberg, the Titanberg. It'll be fine.
We'll get as many as we can on. It'll
Came
be
from a place of love. I
anything.
know it's a place I am.
Because the only person who can't fly is Harry. But, I mean, a giant vulture, I just had a quick peekaroo, could carry a Harrengon. Especially two of them
4
together.
hours.
For 4 hours before you plummet into the ocean.
And so, assuming there is no landing points within 4 hours between Lost Valley and Goldreach.
It'd be like, as you... flying, though. What's the flying speed of a vulture?
Aw.
Hang on. Let's do this. What's the flying speed of a giant
or a
vulture?
giant eagle, or a giant eagle if one of them has
Giant
a
eagle,
fast
I
speed.
think, has higher flying speed from memory. 60 feet flying speed. I take it back. I think you'll be okay for the giant vulture.
There you
there's
go.
like let's see if there's a new version in the new rule set, but I don't think there is yet.
That is the new set, because
That is
before
the new
that,
set,
Little
sweet.
Druid could not fly.
80 feet in the giant eagle. You'll be fine. Yeah. You're muted, Dave.
And then we'll very
Oh,
much
did you see
need-
that
On that
slump
note-
of shame?
On that note, Harry has a walking speed of 30, right?
Yeah.
So if I moved 30 feet, bonus action dash 30 feet, and then action dash 30 feet, how long can I sustainably run 90 feet for 6 seconds?
On
Across
land?
water?
On land
Yeah.
for a bit. On water? You're not Sonic.
Yeah. But on land, just out of interest, how long can I
You could sustain that
move
for a
like
couple
that.
of rounds, I'd say, before you start potentially accruing exhaustion. I'd be having you rolling con slaves.
Okay.
Con
That's
saves.
the- That's the way that chase
Yeah.
encounters work. Is like you can usually keep it up for an amount of turns equal
Equal
to
to your constitution modifier, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Or it's a number plus your constitution modifier from memory. Is it? No, you're right. No. It's just the constitution modifier. Yeah. And then after that, you
That
start
makes sense.
accruing exhaustion.
That means anyone with a negative constitution modifier just can't run.
Pretty much.
Well, without potentially accruing exhaustion, which does kind of track,
Makes
to be
sense.
honest.
Yeah.
It does kind of track. And it's not like you get one exhaustion. It's a con save, and then you can start
the
to build up
exhaustion,
exhaustion.
even at max level, can't kill you. It's always just tired exhaustion.
Yeah, it can get you killed.
Yeah.
Oh, it often
It's something
does.
else.
Yeah.
Even one level was really painful last time. But okay, cool. Thanks for the question.
I love the
So what's
idea
your-
of Harry being like Sonic, going, "Gotta go fast!" as he tries to like run across the surface of the water. Yeah, Naruto.
I think monks do get the ability to run across water at some point, don't they? Something crazy like that.
Where they can move across like walls and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know there's
Yeah,
a wall
that might be what
jump
I'm
for
thinking
sure.
of.
They get like a climbing speed style, thing, but I'm not sure about water. I could be wrong.
Ember,
Level 20 monk.
with all these plans and ideas and thoughts, what are your goals?
Look, I mean, my vision was I thought my village was going to burn, but it looked like the eruptions were happening around it first. So if we can stop that from getting to them, I'm happy to head straight there. Whatever way gets us there to solve the problem and save these other villages as well.
When you say straight there, the village or the volcano, what's your current want?
The volcano or the village next to the volcano. More than happy to go there to help out and maybe use our ship to help get some of those people off while we investigate the volcano.
Are you sure? I was wanting to go to your village first. Family's important.
I'm happy to go for either option. If we fly, I don't know how much time it's going to take us off to fly past my village just to see if it is intact. Happy to do it that way.
It's exactly the same distance. You're at the point of a triangle. It's like an equilateral triangle. It's going to be the exact same distance to fly to your village or to fly to the volcano first. Exactly the same time. The question is, are you going to be able to convince the crew of this ship to fly towards the volcano?
Well,
that might be a trickier... To get them to your village, no problem. The volcano might be a trickier sell.
And as Bart rightly put, we won't be able to put that many people on the boat.
But
Yeah, it's like a cruise. It's like a little cruiser designed to go around the city, and that's it. Like, yeah, you can maybe fit 20 people on that little sky skipper, but like, yeah.
it's maybe, 15, 20 of the people that can't evacuate on their own, and we go on and we warn the rest of them that can, and the people that can help them, we move them all inland. I mean, safety is relative, but if we're fighting this volcano, or whatever's in the volcano, we're not fighting a volcano, but I think we're going to be constantly worried about Ember's family while fighting.
It's got to be the most attractive face I've ever made in my life.
I think it would be what I think. Look, we can all move fairly quickly. We can at least take the airship to your village, and we can maybe help some of the elderly or some of the children and get them to safety. We can at least see what the situation is there. It may be all for naught, but at least that way we know, of course. And then from there, we can help with any of the other evacuations in the Shattered Isles. I think that might be wise.
I may have just come up with a plan. A way to accomplish both goals at once. A bit of shogi, as my brother used to play with me.
Oh.
We've got the messenger stones from the drow. I don't have I've tested this in the Underdark, using him to lure away other entities. Kong Chi can go any distance from me. I can't maintain our communication for a long distance. However, there is no limit to Kong Chi's traversing in this world, as long as he is safe. There is also no time limit to his existence here until I choose him to dismiss. How about I send him to your village with the messenger stone in his pouch? When he arrives to your family, your people, Firbolgs, if my studies from youth are correct, you have like a connection with beasts? They could possibly talk to Kong Chi?
Oh, no, they definitely could. That's a very viable option.
I could send Kong Chi. Kong Chi could discuss with them to an extent, or at least let them know about the stone, and then we can directly talk with them while already heading to the volcano.
That sounds like a great idea to me.
Perhaps we could put one of your belongings with Kong Chi, Ember.
As proof. Yes.
As proof, yes.
Do you have something close to you?
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, I've been collecting lots of different bits of... Well, I've been making bits of glass as I go along. I can put something in there and they'll recognize that it's something that I would have made.
Perfect.
Do you want to even have, Ember, that you've spent a bit of time making, your symbol, your crystal symbol on your chest, that definitely is not a Pokeball.
No, definitely.
I think we joked last session where you weren't here that like Flicker's kind of like the new way we've done Flicker is like there's the familiar form, which is like the base, and then you've got like a mega evolution where like you make him ready for battle, and so it's like a mega stone on your chest. Like as you grab the mega stone and concentrate, that's what empowers Flicker into this battle form. So I was like, maybe that's what I'll do, is that the next form of Flicker I make will be like when Flicker develops some powers, I'll do like a mega evolution of Flicker, and that'll be like the battle form onwards from that point. Let's say that you've kind of done a little bit of glasswork resembling that symbol. That is your family's crest, not just of your tribe, but of your specific family. There are lots of different colors that are used. Some use yellow and black, some use all white. You use the red and white, but there are others who use like blue and white with these little red, orange stripes on top. Yellow with like a black stripe in a sort of like a crescent shape. Yeah. Ultra Ball, Great Ball, Premier Ball, like all the balls. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, for Nintendo, it's not. It's very, very legally distinct.
Not related.
Very legally distinct. Put that on record.
Yeah, so I'd present one of those. We can give that to Kong Chi.
Excellent.
Well, while we wait these last however long, maybe half an hour or 20 minutes for the airship to arrive, do you mind using your own ability to speak with Kong Chi and try to explain where your village is roughly? No, obviously just a location. As long as Kongchi can head in a straight line, that's all we need. And now that he has his wings back, I don't think that's a problem.
No, I definitely can. So, Kongchi's with us, I'm assuming. So, I don't have to actually cast anything on, do I? Owen? It's just speech of beast and leaf.
It's just a feature. You just use the feature.
How would Kongchi talk to me? That's
it's like a braying fox bark. What's Kongchi's intelligence? Kongchi's a bit more intelligent than the average animal. I think Kongchi has slightly higher intelligence because of their Fey connection.
Usually a Fey Rev is a intelligence of
6 or 7, isn't it? It's not too bad.
But Kongchi is 8. So honestly, only 2 below a human. So pretty.
Not too bad.
I would like to think like a dolphin or a chimpanzee, like able to learn things pretty well.
Able to learn sign language. Yeah, yeah. As you focus on your connection to the natural world, Ember, and begin looking towards Kongchi, studying Kongchi's behavior, which is Kongchi sort of cocks its head, this very fox-like head, squinting at you a little bit, the ears coming up as it leans in to sniff you. And then as you feel that connection merge, you hear Kongchi.
Friend of Master.
Yes, yep, friend of Master. Master has asked for you to go to my home. Can you go to my home?
Yes. Where is home?
Home is, well, just trying to think geographically, about south, down, about, 4 hours you say by airship, Owen? So what are we talking by ground? Are we...
5 if he's flying, he's got his wings back.
5. But 5 hours south. Look for a large, very large, burnt out tree. You can't miss it. Go there, and people like me will be there. You talk to them, give them stone.
They talk like you?
They talk like me. They look like me, they talk like me.
They smell like you?
They might smell a little bit more ashy, but yes.
Ash, like fire, campfire.
Like fire, but there'll be lots of fire there, so be careful. Just look for big tree.
Like a moth into like the buzzer. It's like Kongchi just goes into the volcano.
Yeah, that's it.
Ali has just notified us that the Kongchi has the same intelligence as Threign.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Checks out.
I'll come beside as they're sort of teaching and learning, and obviously I can't talk like this. I can simply just do, if anything, it's deeper, but not as deep.
It's like an emotional connection than like a verbal one.
Yeah. I'm just going to put sort of thoughts and images of emotion as I put the stone, and then ask Ember for your glasswork. What does this glasswork look like? What have you made?
I mean, look, I've made lots of things really, but mostly it'd just be my little symbol. As I said, it's kind of like looks like almost just a gemstone with the red and the white running through it.
Okay.
So, I mean, typically things that I've been trying to make have just been like little bottles. I think I was at one point going to make a spyglass, things like that. But this is just something that I make with extra glass left behind.
It's like pretty figurines, and you can go like full anime and just start doing like little models of all the Tempest members, and we can sell them.
Collectibles, yeah.
Yeah.
Little pop Funkos, hey, Si?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Really big heads.
Okay, I'll grab that from you. I'll pop that and the stone in a pouch with nothing else. Nothing else in that pouch other than those 2 items. Maybe a bit of like leathering and some cushioning so the glass doesn't break. And I'll just put the emotion of...
They reach in and just immediately cut their hands. Like, what the fuck is this?
I'll put just the emotions of just important.
Yes,
life
important.
or death,
Yes.
important.
Yes. I will go now to large tree, burnt out. Can't miss it. Yes.
Can't miss it. Good luck.
And then,
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I will fly. I will fly
Let him
again.
just help point in the just direction that he's meant to go.
Kongchi gives you one last sniff, Ember. You think probably trying to remember your scent in this moment. You did say that your scent would be a helpful sign along with the scent of ash. Kongchi gets a bit of a nose full of your scent once more, just to kind of remember it before nuzzling into you, Bartholomew. Cracking the neck, stretching the wings again with this big kind of dopey dog grin, tongue kind of lolling out between the canine teeth, before running and taking a big run up, taking off into the sky, the wings opening up wide, catching that air, and lifting up as Kongchi takes off, disappears quickly over the tree line towards the south. Perfect. It's at that point, as Kongchi begins taking off and flapping its wings to get away, you watch as the airship begins to slow down right above your position. Oh yeah?
I do have a question. Just as this is all happening, as they're doing their thing with Kongchi, I would also be updating. We just did discuss updating Mira with what's happening. I would be taking this opportunity to get the sending stones out and send the message.
Pull out the sending stone to Mira. What do you say?
So 25 words, right?
Yes.
So I've written...
Hey, bitch.
Hey, girl! How you doing? No.
You haven't been possessed by Tiamat again, have you? OMG.
Oh
You need
my
to check
God.
in with OMG, the Oxenfurt Mercantile Guild.
You're looking so prismatic lately. Anyway.
That's good.
No.
So prismatic
would
should be a phrase that we use.
So
Like
prismatic.
Oh, so chromatic. Oh,
So
so
I think
chromatic.
the main things we wanted to do was because I basically wrote en route to volcanic activity near Gobreach to assist villagers. Have learnt that Loth Shadow Blades may also be tracking us, and then I just said be careful,
Perfect.
which is 22 words.
Yep. I was going to say, you got 3 spare words. So you could start with...
Hey, girl.
Lyra, you're there, Lyra. You can talk to Niles.
Yeah, just volcanoes everywhere. Erupting.
Yeah.
Volcanoes erupting everywhere is your 3 words at the end. That's perfect. Perfect. That covers it nicely. There's a pause, and then you get the response from Mira.
Yes. Geological activity concerning. Investigating now. No news yet from Loki or Sinmare. Will update shortly. Investigate.
Oh, well then.
Wait, she's got
Is it
one
just
spare
a
word.
24-hour?
Oh yeah, so you go. 24-hour
so I was just
recharge.
gonna say-
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Investigate villages.
No, you didn't say village for. No, you didn't say villages for Simon, did you? For Ember's village, did you? You said about the volcanoes.
Investigate volcanoes.
Can she say nearby?
He said survivors. He said survivors.
Survivors.
I said to assist the villagers.
Assist
yeah,
villagers. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Investigate and assist villages.
Yep.
Man,
Stay
how did she get all
metallic.
the S's in? How did she get all those S's in the messages like that? It's really impressive.
It's a skill, yes.
It is a skill. Well, there we have it then. We have the directive from Mira. Feeling quite organized, don't you think? We checked in.
It's that point. As the
Almost
airship
too
parks above you.
organised.
Too organized. Yeah, when's it all going to go wrong? As the
I
airship
hate
parks
it.
above you, the ladder drops down over the side. Yeah, which is a Bahir crawls up from over the top of the airship. Or you look on the deck of the ship, there's just shadows over it. You see Cumulus there, this like zombified music, like,
We went to Noctis.
Oh no!
That's one hell of a flight.
Yes.
Yeah, as the ladder drops down over the side of the ship and you climb back on, you see Cumulus there waiting for you. There's a number of large crates now packed up against the back of the ship, all tied down and secured with tarp. And as you get on the ship, Cumulus smiles and nods, and as you get up next to her, Harry, you watch as she leans in and in thieves' cant goes,
Touch those and I'll take your hand, you little shit.
gives you a wink and a smile.
Harry waits till she's not looking. No.
Bart?
Harry gives her a wink.
She gives you a pat on the back, gives you a little smile, Harry. She's mostly kidding. You do a bit of rapport with Cumulus. You know she's mostly kidding. Mostly.
Just to keep everything honest, and because there's one thing I'd like to do, as we're hopping onto the ship and about to leave, over the course of these couple of short rests, I've been channeling through sort of recycling the key and inner energy from my Paladin powers, Channel Divinity, getting a spell slot back, short resting, getting a Channel Divinity back, and just recycling like that in a sort of continuous motion. I would like to use it, one of the regained second level spell slots, just in case, as the ship's about to take off, for another locate object on Electrum armor.
As you activate the locate object, what's the range again? It's 1 mile, isn't it? From memory.
No, I went over it. There's other things that are a mile, such as the communication with Kong
That's
Chi.
right.
Locate object is a couple blocks. It's 1,000 feet.
That's right.
So pretty high, but not infinitely.
Yeah, as you activate the locate object and focus, concentrating, there is no ping, no connection, no activation of the spell within 1,000 feet.
Okay. It'll last 10 minutes, so as we take off and then begin the flight, I'll just keep an ear out for that sort of tinkle up my spine.
Yeah. Peter Tingle, little Bart Tingle. As you get on the deck of the ship, Cumulus turns to you, nodding to the engineers as the airship begins to take off again. You see that older, grizzled engineer giving directions to the younger kid who's really focused. He gives you a bit of a wave as you guys get on before the engineer wraps him on the head with a spanner. He sort of like ducks, rubs his head, and gets back to work again. As you guys get back on, Cumulus goes like, "So, how'd you guys go? Get everything done that you needed to get done? Got it all finished?"
I just point at Bart.
Oh, shit.
Quite. That's the trip.
Holy shit. So the rumors of the flesh sculptor are true. Fuck me.
Quite true.
I've always thought my nose. Do you reckon it'd... No? No. I see you shaking your head. What's going on?
You depends on how strong of constitution you are. And
Yes.
Desire/drive.
Look, I've been running a tourist operation. I've got to have pretty thick skin.
Well, that would be of use, or maybe of interest to our friend down there. He would be very interested in your thick skin.
Why do I get the sense you're not talking metaphorically anymore?
Could we not?
Okay.
He wasn't.
Is it expensive? If I was going to get my nose sort of, I'm thinking like it's a bit. I could do a bit more of a petite nose, right? Like, no, nah. You're looking at me like I'm talking crazy.
It's more of a bartering system.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's kind of you provide flesh for flesh. I mean, your nose is quite small, so it probably doesn't need lots of flesh. So it's mostly just the payment of the services.
Well, if I'm asking for a nose reduction, technically I'm paying with flesh, am I not?
That's true. You might be
You
into
don't have that much nose skin.
No, I don't. Okay, I'll just put up with it.
Look. If you happen to come across a bunch of interesting flesh,
I run a tourist airship. I don't often come across
Sure.
flesh.
I'll as I'm walking past, I'll
I don't know.
place a hand on. Is it he, she? I forget.
She. Cumulus is
She. I'll place a hand on her shoulder. You're beautiful as you are. Plus, men look at what's on the inside. And I'll continue onto the ship.
I'm not that loose. Not a first date anyway. She gives you a bit of a wink. Yeah, okay. Look, I was mostly joking about the nose. Kind of like my nose. Reminds me of my dad's nose. We've got the same nose.
Oh.
All right, well, if you've got all your stuff, where am I taking you? What's the plan? Are we heading back, or I think you guys were saying there might be a chance you needed to make a way further south, yeah?
Towards Gobreach.
Yes.
Gobreach. Are we heading out over the ocean? Because wasn't there... I'm pretty sure there was an eruption near there. I'm not taking the airship anywhere near any volcanoes, just so you know.
Oh, there wasn't an eruption. We're fine.
That's a deception check. You are outright lying, and it's a dumb lie. It's a dumb lie because she knows that you were the ones who kind of like confirmed that there had been an eruption. Yeah. That's a 10.
With my inspiration, we're sticking with a 10.
7 for the next roll. So that is the inspiration gone. She looks at you and goes like, gaslighting's not a good look. Yeah? Keep it to yourself. I'm not taking this ship. I'm not risking my crew anywhere near an active volcano. Yeah? I'll take you along the coastline, but we're not heading over towards... We're not going near Gobreach.
What about as close as you're willing to get? I mean, either via the Shattered Isles, or if it comes to it, across the mainland, drop us off as the close point at mainland.
There's a reason I don't take this ship out over open ocean. I don't think it'd like open ocean, strong winds, yeah, hot air rising from the surface of the ocean, gets squalls out there, can rock this thing. This airship, look, she's a fine vessel, but she's also a piece of shit. If you want to continue existing and living, I'm not taking this hunk of junk out over the open ocean.
Well,
I don't take it higher than most mountain ranges, for God's sake.
I mean, it might be a bit of a detour, but if we were to take the ship out across the strait between Eidgard and Marakega on the Shattered Isles, that's not a lot of ocean there. Maybe we could fly across the Shattered Isles instead. It might be a bit of a longer trip, but we could still get.
Odwell?
Make me a persuasion check.
Can I be helping someone?
Yeah, you can give Niles help for that.
I have a proficiency in persuasion. Actually, that's kind of fun. God.
You have advantage from Lyra's assistance.
Oh, beautiful. Gonna need that.
You do also remember though that the DC is slightly harder because you tried to lie to her initially. But that's a 10 for the persuasion for the first one. You do have another roll.
I'm really glad I have.
Unnatural. There you go. Okay. There's another reason we don't fly over the Shattered Isles.
Oh. Why is that?
Being caught with stuff not supposed to have on the ship. It's not my fault, all right? It's not my fault, but we did have we did have some stuff on the ship we weren't supposed to have. Some might call it contraband. I just call it goods of a particular nature.
Was that nature stolen?
It's a spectrum of legality, all right? And they fell somewhere outside of what those would strictly classify as legal tender. And
this is good. It's two birds with one stone. We can get to where we need to go, and you can right that wrong of yours.
I'm not going to prison.
Yeah.
You sure?
Pretty fucking sure.
Okay, counterpoint. Do you know of any secret islands somewhere between Lost Alley and Goreach?
No.
If we're gonna try and fly this manually, we're gonna need a resting point.
No, I can. If we cross the Strait at Eidgard, I can get you over to the top of the Shattered Isles. But I'm not going anywhere near any settlements. I'll drop you off at the top of the Shattered Isles. There's loads of outposts and fishing villages along the side. You can take a boat. Currents run pretty quickly north to south along there. It won't be that much slower than the airship, and it's more survivable than this airship. It's the best I can do, but I can't stick around. We're going to have to make our way back to Oxenfurt in that case. I can't risk that kind of heat.
I'll lean to my advisor. You think she lied to us?
Who's your advisor?
Niles, obviously.
What?
Oh, I wasn't sure actually. I was. Yeah,
when I become the king of my people, you're going to be beside me.
My Grand Vizier, Niles.
Yes. Order in the court. Lord Bartholomew of the Liang clan now stands at attention. Yes, I've been practicing. I'm going to insight check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I history check to see if that all makes sense, though? As someone who's moved things around?
100%. 13 Niles. Yeah, I mean, she's not, you don't get the sense she's lying when she says the airship is not going to be good in high winds or heading across the ocean. There's fear there when there's fear about discussing the prospect of taking this out over open ocean. She's not okay with that. That scares her. The story around getting in trouble with goods, that she wasn't her fault. It was a bit of a misunderstanding. Yeah, she seems to be on the up and up, but she is nervous about taking the ship close. This does seem to be the best she can offer. Harry, 18. The Shattered Isles are it's self-policed for the most part. It's not quite like Oshia, where you have like a set group of guards for each city, along with a much larger kind of national force, the Ocean Protectorate, whose job it is to travel between those borders, move between the villages, and ensure that people are following the laws and regulations of Oshia. And they do travel by airship. If she was caught with stolen goods, it's actually, as you're thinking this through, it probably wasn't an official group that caught her. If anything, if she was over the Shattered Isles and she was caught with something she wasn't supposed to have, it was possibly by the Ocean Protectorate or by maybe another group of people performing activities on the legality spectrum. Yeah, she's maybe run afoul of another group of smugglers or something like that, potentially. Maybe hedging on their turf or territory. Exactly. You don't. She's kind of saying this. You're like, there is no official protectorate or policing group for the Shattered Isles. It's a loose, like all the different people on the Shattered Isles kind of police themselves. It's pretty unusual.
That's actually going to be my next question. What do we know of the Shattered Isles? Like, what is the majority of the people that live here?
No, you haven't been there yet. I know. This is a part of the world you guys haven't been to that I've been excited to get you guys down to. So the Shattered Isles stretch a pretty large distance all the way from the south western coast of Oceania. They stretch down and around underneath the elemental states and then back up around the eastern reaches of Oceania, almost all the way over towards Chiari and up north towards Balmia. And it was once a collection of probably was once a single landmass. The kind of theory is that during the ruin this was once a single landmass that was broken. And there's been a number of scholars, this is all information all of you would have, there's been some scholars from various universities who claim that they can see the pattern of fracture that looks like cymatics, the way that sound waves can change and shift matter to force it into various things. So there's a theory that there's a pattern to the Shattered Isles, and one of the legends that you hear is that it happened when one of the gods dropped an item of great value that fell from the heavens and smashed into the islands, smashed into the landmass, shattering it, and that was kind of what happened. Some say it was Pelor's staff. You've heard it was Muradin's hammer. There's all different stories about what it was, but there's been this persistent legend throughout Nosteia's history since the ruin that this was some sort of divine, not retribution, but like an item that fell.
I do actually remember learning about that when I was learning about Nosteia and making the character. As I sort of had, it's in the theocracy. It was they believe the staff of Sirenita, who they've still got a piece of relic in the High City, like the godly relic we have.
Because it was scattered across Nosteia.
Yeah,
right?
it was shattered too. It broke, and it broke the continent. It was both broke together. You will find all different groups of people on the Shattered Isles. Tabaxi control a number of islands. Shivers, who was one of the Tabaxi from the Shattered Islands. There's a group of Tabaxi and Leonin there who follow a very strange religion called Mors Sacris, which is all about this kind of, I guess, like beneficial necromancy. The idea that you are reincarnated with each life, and the previous body that you inhabited should be raised as an undead and used. It's your body. You should have control over it. And so there's this whole thing of like, it's a very sort of strange religion trying to redeem necromancy in a way, I guess. But there's Tabaxi, Leonin, Satyrs, a large portion. Imagine kind of like sections of it look a lot like south of Italy, parts of the Greek islands. The climate's very much this kind of Mediterranean kind of vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of dangers, Bart will bring up knowledge of, I'm not sure how much Niles might have of this, but the constant guarding that I know my father had to do with the theocracy. There was always problems of hobgoblins and bugbears that weren't natives but were always pirating along the coasts.
There are some remnants from the forces that served the ruin, hobgoblins and bugbears particularly, who do patrol in these large pirate vessels and do frequently raid along the coastline. For sure. There's a group of Malorinorks who don't live on the floating city. They colonized one of the islands a long time ago, and the floating cities, it's the one point where all the floating cities eventually drift past and meet. And so that sort of section where the currents converge and combine, it's like the heart of the Maloran Orc kind of people, this one island in the very center by itself. And that's the one that's at the southernmost tip, off by itself, right down at the very bottom of the Shattered Isles. It's a tiny little island out by itself in the ocean, and that's where all of the floating cities converge eventually, as the currents take them around once every 50 years. So it's not a centralized, organized group. The Shattered Isles is kind of like a very rough name for it, because the Oceans like to set up boundaries and borders. There's been some border disputes. Oshia has tried a number of times to claim the island immediately west of Eidgard, claiming that it's their territory. It's an ongoing dispute, that one.
Niles probably turns back. Well, actually, you're probably speaking telepathically with your mind link at the moment.
I was also thinking, because if we're talking as a group, that I thought we might all just be like pooling in knowledge of.
Oh, I meant
about
more
trusting
about trusting
Cumulus.
Oh no, yeah, that's definitely mind link.
Because I haven't said anything. I'll reply back. I don't think she's lying. She probably doesn't want to risk her cargo over the straits, and well, the vessel isn't really equipped for long voyages, so I don't think she's lying.
She just said that the boats would be quicker. I just wanted to fact check that, I guess. But I trust you. That's your gut feeling.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, a boat built for cruising and sailing around these areas should be quicker, I'd imagine, compared to this airship that we're on.
I'm just worried about time. That was the main reason we're trying to get to the volcano so quickly, to save these people and Ember's family. If we're taking a route that may be longer, that could be the difference between destruction and not destruction.
I mean, the other alternative is we simply fly ourselves. We can rest along certain parts of the Shattered Isles if we need to.
We've got options.
We have options, but the main thing would be getting across the strait. That if they can help us at least with that would be fine. Well, if that's the case, Luce, if you can only get us to the tip of the Shattered Isles across the strait, then I guess that's how it's going to have to be then.
All right, go talk to the engineer. We'll get started right away. We gotta get going before night falls. All right, buckle up. I'll get us out of here.
I have a bit of a question. About how long do you think we're going to be until you sort of have taken us as far as you can?
Oh, it's maybe 2 hours tops. We're not traveling too far, and the wind's going to be with us, so you won't be too long at all. I'll get you there. Get you there as quick as I can.
Some of the vessels that you said that would be there, they could get us to Godbreach fast, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
quicker than your airship?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But also keep in mind there's an active volcano there, so you're going to have to be a bit careful traveling the waters. More careful travel in the air, so I guess the water's the best way forwards. But
naturally,
I would have said, I don't know much about sailing. I just know that there's a current that travels north to south on that inside section between the islands. If you can get on that, travel with it, that'd be quick. But I don't know if that's been disrupted with the volcano. I don't know what's going on. You're heading into danger, just so you know.
That's kind of what we do.
It's nice of you to be concerned.
Look, if I go back and I get raked over hot coals because I just left you fuckers, dropped you off in a volcano, like, I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, no.
Mira would understand.
Mira will understand. We have directive from her.
She already knows. He already knows that's what you're doing.
We can write a note if you're that concerned.
She'll only half blame you.
Oh, great. That makes me feel so much better. All right, come on, let's get going. Come on.
If anything, she might even up your retaining salary.
Yeah,
I'll take hazard pay at this point too. Please and thank you. With that, you watch Cumulus nods, heads over towards the engineering bay, and we're going to leave tonight on some wonderful artwork that Dave has done for us, defacing my lovely map. It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
Was it Ali?
I just saw it. It is awesome.
Did you?
I did this like a month or two ago.
Did you?
the little black mark?
No, the bunny over on Lyra.
It was a couple of months before that. It was a dragon.
That was done a long time ago because I remember that.
I'm so zoomed in all the time.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice. Oh,
so
dear.
Funny. That's very funny.
I just recently joined this group, and then I looked at it and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I had no idea.
Harry's homeland.
So well done. You've made it. Look, it does. Now that you've drawn that, I can't unsee that it looks like a rabbit with a carrot, with the obsidian isles being the carrot and the rabbit looking very deformed, like it's been through a series of gears. That ear in particular, the top ear looks like it's been really crunched up. That's amazing. Well done.
Yeah, it has its own figment.
Is it canon that's where the Harrengons are from now?
No, Liela's got its own thing. Liela, unfortunately not. Okay. The Harrengons, though, you will find Harrengons on the Shattered Isles as well. There's a large tribe of Harrengons on the Shattered Isles. Absolutely. Ooh. Yeah. Could even be some family for you there, Harry, if you want. Up to you.
Now we did just defeat a couple of really strong monsters in the basement of the Flesh Sculptor.
That's very true. I will let you know when you get a level up. As I always do. As I always do.
I'll take that.
I'll let you
I'll take
know.
that.
I'll let you know.
I asked earlier as well when you went here.
You also know that I don't do XP, right? It's milestone. So you could defeat as many monsters as you like.
No,
Well,
I know.
that's not true. I also do factor that. I do factor
through the
that.
entirety of the Underdark.
Yeah.
There are
We've got
very
2
few
levels in the
things
Underdark
life.
overall. Come on.
Did we?
Yes. Come on.
We did get a few levels.
You
in
got,
the end.
you got, I
Yeah,
think,
I joined-
2 for sure, possibly even 3.
Yeah, we did.
I joined level 5. We got 3. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
At least in the Underdark. Yeah.
There
I know
are
it
very few
feels
things in
like
life.
there's a long time between level ups, but like
Just physically in real life, there's a long time.
it's because it's a week between each
I
episode.
don't think I've ever played in a D&D campaign that was experience based. Like that's kind of a crazy
pretty-
idea to me.
Because it encourages murder hoboing. Because there is
Yeah, of
no
course it
inbuilt
does.
experience system for
Yeah.
social stuff. So I will never
Everyone's
do
gonna
it.
kill everything we see
I,
to get to min max this campaign. which
I
is-
ran one that was meant to be
stupid.
more like a almost a video game where it was rooms they defeat creatures and continuously go through them. What I'll say is level 1 to 5 is really fun because it happens so quickly, and then
Yeah.
level 6 onwards takes
Cool.
so long.
It's very grindy. Yeah.
Alrighty.
There are very few things in life that fill me with as much endorphins.
As a level
I
up.
need my lizard brain as much as Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was so much fun,
Yeah.
and then I hit the level cap,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then I just walked away for like a whole month.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There are mods you can do to get past that, you know, right?
I know, but also it's
What
also.
do you mean it's not the
same?
same? There's so many good mods for Baldur's Gate 3. If you haven't
Yeah,
played with some of the mods for the expanded subclasses, you are missing out, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some.
Or
Someone
even-
has gone to
even,
the trouble of
Weightless
adding
Gold.
every
Weightless Gold
subclass.
is the best mod.
That's the
Really
sort of
great.
endorphins I get when I'm leveling up a character in Path of Exile.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same thing. I'm like,
Or if you're Elon Musk paying someone to do it for you.
Just the,
It's the same feeling, right?
yeah, it's the same
You
thing.
pay someone for it. Also,
Basically
thank you so
the
much
glow,
for joining
the
us.
glow of the level up.
Yeah.
Oh.
As you experience it watching some
Oh.
person you've paid do it for you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We are going to go and raid a lovely channel. We're going to go and raid the Baker Cam. They're playing Pathfinder, their Etheria campaigns. I'll bring across that raid and we will go and raid them now. If you are watching us... Oh, I think I've just done it. No, it's good. Perfect. If you are watching us on YouTube or watching us on... I'm having a moment. It's been a long day. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast, remember, if you want to help keep Ember's Village safe, you're going to have to hit like, you're going to have to leave a comment and subscribe. Otherwise, I don't know if there's anything we can do. It's going to be too late. And Kong Chi's on his way there too. So, I mean, fuck, you better get on it pretty quick. So make sure you do that below so that they all survive. It's on you now. We will see you all in the next episode. Until then, stay safe and stay well. And I really hope I have some exciting news regarding extra streams for you shortly. I will keep you posted. It'll be in the Discord as soon as I know more, I promise. Awesome sauce. We will see you all again very, very soon. For now, farewell. See you guys safe very shortly. Goodbye. See ya.